What's going on, y'all? Getting comfy. I need more support in this chair, I swear. I got this pillow behind my back. Oh, that's what we're talking about. Oh. Alright. We have positioned ourselves. Switch up the vibe here a bit. So, catching up on some of the news. I missed this little Trump Apple deal. You know, he talks about this, so gonna catch up on that. The files. Just got some updates with, I guess, Ghislaine Maxwell. Whether or not she's gonna talk and, you know, possibly receive a pardon or something, which is also what we have running in the poll. See how many people agree with that. And then just other randomness, some culture war stuff, streamer stuff, whatever we get into at that point. But we could hop into this one. Bam.
You know this gentleman, one of the truly great legends of our time, my book. Before we begin, I'd like to say a few words about the shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia. As you know, 5 people were seriously wounded and 2 very, very seriously hurt around 11 o'clock this morning. The shooter is now in custody, and the Army Criminal Investigation Division is on site to ensure that the perpetrator of this atrocity, which is exactly what it is, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The entire nation is praying for the victims and their families, and hopefully they'll fully recover, and we can put this chapter behind, but we're not going to forget what happened. We're going to take very good care of this person that did this, horrible person. This afternoon, we're pleased to welcome to the White House one of the great and most esteemed business leaders and geniuses and innovators anywhere in the world.
Tim Cook.
Apple CEO Tim Cook. It's an amazing job. Thanks as well to Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick for being here, wherever you may be. Oh, there you are. Hello, fellas. I missed you. Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit.
I thought it
I won't
was
say which ones.
600 billion and only 100 billion were going to the United States for like manufacturing here or something. I'll have to double check that article.
But a couple, and they're coming home. $600 billion. It's the biggest there is. The company is also unveiling its ambitious new American manufacturing program, which will bring factories and assembly lines across our country all roaring to life. Areas that were not doing so well are doing very well. We have about $17 trillion coming into the United States, which is more than ever before. That's never even come close. There's never been anything like it. Even you, that's even a lot of money for you. But we have commitments of more than $17 trillion. That was as of a couple of weeks ago. These investments will directly create more than 20,000 brand new American jobs and many thousands more at the Apple suppliers like Corning, Broadcom, Texas Instruments, and Samsung, who all deal in that world. As part of this historic commitment, Apple will massively increase spending on its domestic supply chain for the iPhone and will build the largest and most sophisticated smart glass production line in the world in Harrodsburg, Kentucky.
He said smart glass?
And will build the largest and most sophisticated smart glass production line in the world in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, which is a great, actually, I did very well there. I like it because I see I did very well there. I did very well in Kentucky, but it's a great place. You're going to be very happy. I thought maybe while we're up, I'll interrupt my own speech by, you might show them a little bit about the product that you're going to be doing in Kentucky, Tim.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I step over
Yes,
here?
please.
This box was made in California.
I mean, 600 billion is a lot, but also, I mean, how much is this advertisement worth? I mean, it's probably not worth 600 billion, sure, but still a really good advertisement.
This box was made in the U.S., in California. And this glass comes off the Corning line. It's engraved for President Trump. It's a unique unit of one. It was designed by a U.S. Marine Corps corporal, a former one, that works at Apple now.
That's good. He's done well.
Designed it for you. And the base comes from Utah and is 24 karat gold. And it sits, I'll take the liberty of setting it up.
Wow.
Is there some sort of function that this thing has, or is it just essentially like a trophy or a plaque or a like, you know what I mean? Is that all it is, or is there some sort of function that I'm missing? It was just hard to hear him in the beginning.
Well, let's see. There we go. Congratulations,
Thank you
Mr.
very much.
President.
It's
Thank you
fantastic.
so much.
The great people of Kentucky. You're going to find it a great place to do business, too. It's fantastic. Isn't that nice? We're doing these things now in the United States instead of other countries, faraway countries. This is a significant step toward the ultimate goal of ensuring that iPhones sold in the United States of America also are made in America with the mass infusion of capital it's announcing today.
That does seem reasonable, though. I mean, if they are bringing back jobs here, that seems like a reasonable. But like, also, what are they giving in return? Like, what is the government giving to Apple? I guess I think Trump speaks of that. I think he said they could build here for free, whatever that kind of entails.
We'll also build a 250,000 square foot server manufacturing facility in Houston and invest billions of dollars to construct data centers across the country from North Carolina to Iowa to Oregon. That's big stuff. Apple will also open state-of-the-art manufacturing economy. It's going to be a manufacturing academy in Detroit.
Like everything's automated, so there's like really no jobs coming in. That'd be insane.
And that's a great place to do. You know, big things are happening in Michigan and Detroit. They're coming.
But you would at least have a lot of construction jobs, right? Just from, I mean, how large of a scale they're going to be building at. I'm assuming that's going to be huge for construction workers like in those areas.
Of what we've done with the, I call it the great big beautiful bill. I added one word, great. But we have
I guess contractors.
probably the biggest, most comprehensive piece of legislation ever passed. It's going to mean
YouTube sucks now. That's kind of what I thought he was going for. Is it's like if you tariff enough, you just make it, you know, not really cost effective to build things somewhere else and ship them here. The whole point of doing that is it's cheaper to build them there and ship it here. If you make it not cheaper anymore, then they're kind of forced to build in the country. Which, again, there's like a give and take there. I'm not really sure if it's a complete net benefit or not. People say, oh, the prices of things will rise. Everything's going to be more expensive if we do that. So I'm curious to see, you know, how this works out, basically.
unbelievable numbers of jobs and no jobs on, think of this, whether it's tips or overtime or Social Security, no tax. So no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime.
And that does sound reasonable to me. I mean, that sounds like a good thing. That one seems hard to spin in a bad way. I feel like it would mostly affect people, you know, like non-salary people for one. I mean, tips and all of it, tips and overtime. So yeah, it sounds like a pretty positive thing.
It's just a small bit of it. For Apple and others businesses, we're talking about the deductions and all of the things. And actually for people that go out and buy a car, first time it's ever been done, we talk about deductions for companies, but they're going to be able to deduct interest when they borrow money to buy a car, if it's made in America. It has to be made in America. So it is amazing. And one of the reasons I think I can say that Apple's coming here is the legislation we just passed with this kind of investment. Apple will also open other facilities, rare earth magnets from Texas, and build, oh, I love that you're doing this. I love that. I love that. And build a brand new rare earth recycling line in Mountain Pass, California. I know that area. That's where they have a lot of truly rare earth. That's fantastic. I love that. And Apple will help develop and manufacture semiconductors and semiconductor equipment in Texas, Utah, Arizona, and New York.
I mean, so Apple is deep in the cookie jar, okay? Look, I'm sure, you know, they're great people over there and everything, but they want to make money. So this has got to be, you know, rather beneficial for them as well.
For years, Americans have watched as many of our leading tech giants built their factories overseas and exported American jobs abroad. But under the Trump administration, we're doing everything possible to make this the best place on earth to build a factory or grow businesses. I'm allowing them to build electric producing plants with their factory, because otherwise they'd have to hook into the grid. And I think it's one of the biggest things we've done, where you can build, Tim, your own electricity. You become your own electric manufacturer, and that goes along with the plant. So you become a utility. So congratulations, now you're in the utility. I hope they don't value your company based on utility, but that's okay. You're going to be making your own electricity, and as you probably know, for much of this and many of the things that we're doing, especially the AI, they would need actually double the electricity that the country now produces.
Jeez.
So it's massive electric, and they're going to be able to make their own, and they're getting very fast approvals. Lee Zeldin is doing a fantastic job, including with a 100% expensing on the one big, beautiful bill. In return, we're asking our businesses to invest in America, and they're coming in at levels that we've never seen before. So I don't know when it shows up, but there are a lot of factories and a lot of plants that are either under construction or soon will be starting construction. So can't tell you exactly when, but I want to be around in about a year from now and 2 years from now, because we're going to see an explosion, I think, like this country has never seen before.
He's like, I want to be around. It's like, are you planning on going somewhere in the next year or two?
Today's announcement is one of the largest commitments in what has become among the greatest investment booms in our nation's history, and we've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. You know, I told you the story that, and Tim, I'll tell you, but
it has been like 100 degrees here lately.
Middle East, and I was with Qatar, I was with UAE and the King of Saudi Arabia, all great leaders. And then I went to NATO and saw many great leaders, and we just finished that about 4 weeks ago. Virtually everyone said, in effect, that we were a dead country 1 year ago. America, this was a dead country. We were dying, we were dead. And now you
seems a bit much.
Country anywhere in the world. This would have never happened except for certain people. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. NVIDIA is investing $500 billion.
Jeez.
To go along with Apple, $600 billion. $600 billion.
So $1 trillion. We're over $1 trillion already?
Investing $200 billion. IBM is investing more than $150 billion. SoftBank is investing substantially more than $100 billion. TSMC is investing $200 billion. Johnson & Johnson, $55 billion. Merck, Stellantis, and
the big
General
names,
Motors are putting many, many billions in. They haven't determined the final number. And many other countries are investing tens of billions of dollars. And I'm not going to give you the whole list because the list is too long to read.
It's simply too many billions.
But it's hundreds of billions and even trillions. I mean, it's trillions of dollars is being invested right now. Last week, it was announced that our economy grew at 3% in the second quarter. and consumer confidence is surging. Blue-collar wages are rising rapidly. Costs are way down. You know, I listen to these horrendous frauds on CNN and various other fake news networks, and they say costs are up. No, costs are down. Gasoline is down. It's going to soon, I believe, be less than $2 a gallon.
Yo, that'd be crazy. Gas here, I want to say is about $2.90, $2.99. I'm trying to think of the last time I need to go get some gas, so I'll double check. I want to say about $2.99. Eggs, obviously, those got way cheaper over the last few months. I'm trying to think of just like general items, though. I still feel like things are still kind of pricey. I don't think those are going to go down anytime soon.
It's around $2.40
like groceries. I just feel like groceries are just stupid expensive
now. Many places, other than California, where they tax you out of business, but and a couple of others. But gasoline is way down. The price of groceries are down. How about eggs? When I first came here, my first week,
eggs are down. Eggs were ridiculous at one point.
Hit me very hard on eggs. Eggs had quadrupled or something. I said I didn't know.
It was insanity.
Give me a chance. I've just been here for 4 days.
That was a bird flu situation.
Everything's down. Price is down. The only thing that's up is stock prices. That's really up, and that's through the roof. The stock market has been.
That's what I'm saying, Aussie fan. You're like, where is it $2 a gallon? I'm wondering that as well. I'm like, $2 a gallon? Like what? I think he said it's good. He wants to get it down to $2 a gallon.
All-time records, all-time.
That would be nice. I mean, it would be nice. Doubt it though.
Last week it was announced that our economy grew at levels that we haven't seen in a long time, but the real levels of growth are going to be judged in a year from now when you start seeing some of these incredible plants, because we have car plants opening. They're coming in from Canada, from Mexico, and from all over the world.
Wait, who's posting billions?
Coming in because they like the way the election worked out, but they also like the fact that they don't want to pay tariffs.
275 in South Carolina. Nice.
And
stop with the Howard Stern. Stop that. Y'all get me every time. I'm not going to be bringing up a picture of him again.
The tariffs, I think, will be taken in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. I won't be so specific other than to say, because we don't even know what the final number is. We just made a deal, as you know, with the EU where they're paying hundreds of billions of dollars. Japan paying hundreds of billions of dollars, and numerous other countries paying hundreds of billions of dollars. And we're not even completed there. And as you know, they found $25 billion 3 weeks ago. They said we have a surplus of $25 billion. And they said, where did this come from? I said, check the tariffs. And they checked. They said, you're right.
Oh, okay.
That's where it came from. And
I was like, what do you mean you just have, like, what?
Started. This is just in its infancy.
We just found it.
So we have a great country. We have a country that is going to be very rich. It's
288 in Virginia.
That we're very proud of, but it's going to be very rich. And it's companies like Apple. They're coming home. They're all coming home. And we want them to come home. They have to come home. We're going to treat them really well. We're going to be putting a very large tariff on chips and semiconductors.
I love it. It's like, we're going to tariff the fuck out of you to force you to come back, and we're going to treat you well. Don't you worry. Once you get here, we're going to treat you well. Basically, you're going to play ball. It's basically what he's saying.
But the good news for companies like Apple is if you're building in the United States or have committed to build, without question committed to build in the United States, there will be no charge. In other words,
so he said he got
not
to be
going
Trump.
to be charging. So a lot of countries, a lot of companies are leaving various other places and they're coming to the United States. So in other words,
Christopher, you said Apple made that deal under Biden. Is that true?
we'll be putting a tariff on of approximately 100% on chips and semiconductors. But if you're building in the United States of America, there's no charge, even though you're building and you're not producing yet in terms of the big number of jobs and all of the things that you're building. If you're building, there will be no charge. So I just want everyone to know that. And I didn't even tell you that inside. We discussed the concept, but I didn't. So it's a big factor. So
I don't really understand the specifics of that, but
100% tariff on all chips and semiconductors coming.
Essentially just incentivizing them to build here in a way, or making it easier for them to build. It just is very vague in the way he says it. But I guess I get it, like some sort of subsidy.
To the United States. But if you've made a commitment to build, or if you're in the process of building, as many are, there is no tariff. Okay? If for some reason you say you're building and you don't build, then we go back and we add it up, it accumulates, and we charge you at a later date. You have to pay, and that's a guarantee. So that's a big statement, and I think the chip companies are all coming back home. They're all coming back. You know, we started with Intel, and gradually Intel was just taken over the coals. They were taken to the cleaners, frankly, and moved to other places, in particular Taiwan. But I think a lot of those.
It always confused me because I thought I've always heard Taiwan is like the place for like semiconductors, and I never understood like why we didn't have more facilities for it. I guess it's just like labor costs or something, but I don't know. People made it seem as though Taiwan had some sort of like special ability to produce semiconductors, and it just seems like sort of offloading that to a third party as a country, like completely, if you have the means to do it, probably isn't smart. There's like some supply chains that you probably want to have some sort of control in with like manufacturing, just in terms of like grand strategy, I guess.
A lot of those companies are coming back, and they're coming back very rapidly, so that's a big statement, 100% tariff. I want to thank you very much. Tim, would you like to say a few words about your company, please?
70% of all chips, and I mean all chips, even the ones found in your car, TSMC.
Everyone. Mr. President, thank you very much for having me here today. You've been a great advocate for American innovation and manufacturing, and I'm grateful for your leadership and your commitment. That's a commitment we share at Apple because American innovation is central to everything we do. Our products are designed here, we're hiring and growing here, and we support 450,000 jobs with thousands of suppliers and partners in all 50 states. Earlier this year, we made our largest ever spending commitment, $500 billion to the U.S. over the next 4 years. That's already yielding results. Earlier this year, we broke ground on a new factory in Houston to make advanced AI servers. And just last month, the very first test unit rolled off that factory's line, proudly made in America. President Trump shared some kind words about that work, but he also asked us.
If Apple gets super patriotic, that's just going to be hilarious. Like with the whole Made in America stuff. I mean, I'm not against it or anything. I worked at a factory when I was 18, and we were like proud to put these stickers, on our boxes as we shipped them out that, it was manufactured here in America. But it's just kind of funny coming from Apple. It's kind of funny.
To think about what more we could commit to doing. And Mr. President, we took that challenge very seriously. I'm glad to be here with you today, and I'm very proud to say that today we're committing an additional $100 billion to the United States, bringing our total U.S. investment to $600 billion over the next 4 years. As a part of this, we're launching Apple's American Manufacturing Program. It will spur even more production right here in America.
Dude, they say the pendulum swings, right? And that the pendulum is swinging, conservative right now to the right because, the Trump win and everything. We're seeing it obviously in government. We're seeing it in culture with, the Sydney Sweeney ad and things of that nature. And it's just like, how far is it going to go? Because again, if Apple and a bunch of these companies go from like the DEI stuff to super like patriotism for America, it would just be like a whiplash moment, I feel like.
Components used in Apple products all around the world. And we're thrilled to announce that we've already signed new agreements with 10 companies across America to do just that. First, with today's announcements, I'm proud to say that Apple is leading the creation of an end-to-end silicon supply chain right here in America, from design to equipment to
it's good but who controls it?
To packaging. In Texas, we're working with manufacturers like Texas Instruments, Global Wafers America, and Applied Materials. We're working with Amcor in Arizona and Broadcom and Global Foundries in New York. Thanks to President Trump's vision, and with his help in his first term, we also led the way to bring TSMC to Arizona by committing to be their first and largest customer.
Thank you, person in chat, for the TSMC, because now I can make that connection. I didn't know about that prior. Appreciate you.
Today, they're producing tens of millions of chips for Apple using one of the most advanced process technologies in America today. We're going to keep working with our suppliers to move even more of this.
See, Bronze in chat says, are you ready to pay $3K for an iPhone? So I'm curious, will the prices drastically rise, do you think? I mean, that's obviously your hypothesis here, and that's what I've heard a lot of. If we bring manufacturing back, everything goes up in price.
It's incredibly advanced work to America. And this year alone, American manufacturers are on track.
Seems like most people are saying yes. Yes.
Billion chips for Apple in 24 factories across 12 different states. Second, we're committed to buying American-made.
They're not going to give up profits. Who cares if prices rose on iPhones? We don't need a ducking iPhone to survive. So you're saying iPhones are luxury items. President Biden, however, completion is occurring with President Trump. To a down payment for a home. I don't know. Is there any way to offset it? If all the if a bunch of companies start manufacturing here, the price of everything goes up because it costs more to produce things here. How do you offset that? Hopefully the jobs are paying enough, paying more than the jobs now. Is that the idea? Or you're cutting taxes somewhere? Or I think Trump mentioned something about some sort of UBI. He didn't call it UBI, but he said we're making so much money from tariffs. He's thinking about essentially UBI. He said that, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken. How do you offset it?
Advanced rare earth magnets developed by MP Materials, which will become part of Apple's devices shipped around the world. MP is the only fully integrated rare earth producer in the United States, and with this partnership, they'll be significantly expanding their flagship facility in Fort Worth, Texas. We're also thrilled to work together on a cutting-edge rare earth recycling line in Mountain Pass, California. And third, in Kentucky, we've worked with our partners at Corning to build the world's largest and most advanced smartphone glass production line. And I'm pleased to announce that very soon, this is for the first time ever, every single new iPhone and every single new Apple Watch sold.
I'll have to check the prices of Teslas, but Easy Blue 1611 says, think of this. Tesla is 100% made in USA. Does the price go up? Question mark. No, it has been going down. Is it 100% made in the United States though? I mean, I'm just unsure. I would imagine they would. There's probably parts of it that are manufactured in other places, right? Is that true?
Where in the world will contain cover glass made in Kentucky. In addition to the American manufacturing program, we're also significantly growing our investments in AI, including expanding data center capacity in North Carolina, in Nevada, in Iowa, in Arizona, and Oregon. So we're going to keep making investments right here in America. We're going to keep hiring in America.
Assembled in the U.S.
We're going to keep.
You said Tesla is 100% assembled in the U.S., not even close to 100% manufactured in the United States. Okay.
Keep building technologies at the heart of our products right here in America, because we're a proud American.
A 5K iPhone.
And we believe deeply in the promise of this great nation. Thank you all.
All car parts are shipped here.
Trump for putting American innovation and American jobs front and center. Thank you, sir.
Great honor.
Thank you.
Tyler says that Tesla, they do assemble most, or they assemble most of their cars in the United States, Fremont, California, Austin, Texas factories, but many parts, materials. Okay, yeah.
What a job he's done. What a job. Incredible. I want to thank
Yeah, I was thinking the zone. I was thinking about the batteries as well.
Good job. Really good job. Any questions, please?
They'll have to subsidize the cost like they did in the past.
To bring forth a manufacturing renaissance. You just mentioned.
Or just wrap you up in a contract.
$1 trillion in your first 7 months or so.
Right.
Can you talk about how an investment like this, all the other ones that you laid out, will positively impact the millions of Americans that trusted you with their vote?
Thank you very much. It changes our country. I mean, our country is a very different country than it was 6 months ago. And people like Tim are coming. We had Micron in yesterday.
Bring it back at a slower rate.
All of the big, great companies that you read about, you don't know about, but you read about. Many of them were making products outside of our country. Foolishly, we lost them. If we had the right person sitting in that seat, that would have never happened 20 and 30 years ago. When you look at the chip business, it would have never left our shores. We had 100% of chips originally, and then we slowly got taken down to nothing. We have the biggest chip companies, to both of them, but we have the biggest in the world coming in. They're going to Arizona and beyond. And we're going to have, in a short period of time, we'll be up to almost 50% of the chips from starting in nothing. And that's something. But we have the greatest companies in the world coming into our country, and that means jobs, and it means wealth, and wealth means security for our people. Okay? Brian?
Yes, sir. Congratulations on this investment, President Trump. And
Thank you.
What a great example of putting America first. What does the labor force look like to fill these jobs that you have? Do we have enough skilled American workers to fill these?
Well, we do have a lot of workers, and we have a lot of workers that hadn't been looking for work because they were disincentivized, frankly. And people like Tim have tremendous schools and training centers that they build along with a lot of their big plants where they train people on whether it's...
It does seem like this would necessarily bring jobs, like all sorts of jobs. The question is, how much are those jobs paying? But if they're paying, decently, then it seems like a positive, right?
Like in Kentucky, or computers, or whatever they might be doing. It's a complex world, and they train people, and they do a great job. So it's a whole new workforce. Now, we have a lot of them in energy because, they've always liked energy. As you know, coal has opened up big. We brought it back and brought it back in a very large way. China's right now building 58 coal-fired plants, 58 big ones. And here we were saying, we don't take coal. We have more coal than anybody else in the world. We have more oil and gas than anybody else in the world. But we have tremendous energy jobs, and the energy, as you know, we're booming with energy. And that's why the gasoline prices are down. Costs are down. I just hope when they watch these shows, I watch this, I won't use names because I just make them better known. That nobody...
I don't know why, but the View came to my mind first. What show do you think he was watching? I thought he was about to say it.
Knows who they are. But I watch this group of people on CNN and MSNBC
Okay, CNN.
too, the same thing, where they say,
Never mind.
Costs have gone up. Costs haven't gone up, they've gone down. I'm telling you, the thing that's gone up is stock prices, and success of our country. Our country is really, really doing well, successful. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. President, have Putin and Zelensky agreed to a summit yet? And where and when would that be?
Well, there's a very good prospect that they will. And we haven't determined where, but we had some very good talks with President Putin today. And there's a very good chance that we could be ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
How close do you think you are to a deal?
Excuse me?
How close do you think you are to some kind of deal?
Well, I don't want to say.
He's never going to answer that question. I mean, when it comes to, I think he's talking about Putin and Russia. That one's just, man, that's between them at this point. I mean,
Before with this one, we've solved 5 wars.
he's like,
Plus,
listen, we've solved 5 wars. Ukraine and Russia, that'll happen when it happens at this point. There's really not much more we could do.
add to that.
Besides, not funding Ukraine, essentially, which would just let Russia have a win, probably. So you probably just want to keep funding them, I guess. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but
Iran, where we wiped out their nuclear capacity for weapons. They would have had a weapon within 2 months, maybe less. And that was totally obliterated. It turned out it was a total obliteration. And the pilots and the people that did that job are really, we have the greatest.
it's funny you say that, Johnny Apple Sneeze. This poll, I've done different variations of the Epstein poll essentially, and it generally comes out to 90-10. The first week or two, it was 90-10. Everybody's release the files, terrible stuff. And then as of recent, the last few streams, it's been maybe 85-15 or 80-20. So it's slowly going in that direction.
We have the greatest armed forces in the world, but that was really something. In fact, there's a model of the plane right there. So, you got to bring that up, Susie. We have to see that. Look at this. This was just given to me. You know, we ordered brand new B-2 bombers. This is a plane that over a period of 36 hours of constant flying, look at this. So this is the brand new one they just ordered, similar but actually quite different. It's new and enhanced. It's an amazing machine. It went 36 hours. We had 52 tankers up in the air loading up our planes because this was surrounded by F-22s and F-35s, and it was flawless, Tim. Even you would say it was flawless. And every one of those bombs hit their target.
Okay, I see you guys arguing that point, whether it's 600 billion or 100 billion.
Hawks shot in from a submarine 300 miles away, and they hit every single Tomahawk hit its target. It was amazing. And that was a big threat. That was a nuclear threat.
Israel's new planes.
And here's the new one that we just ordered, a large number of them. I'll put it on.
Mr. President, what was the breakthrough today? Did Vladimir Putin make some kind of concession?
Okay, you guys keep arguing this point. I was trying to figure this out earlier. Sorry, I know it's like messed up on the screen. Wait, can I fix it? Hold up. Can I fix it? Not really. CEO Tim Cook is giving President Donald Trump more than just a $600 billion promise to accelerate U.S. manufacturing. Following the announcement of a $100 billion investment in domestic production, Cook gave Trump a blah, 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 blah. So $100 billion promise to invest in U.S. manufacturing. Apple will add, oh my gosh. Oh my, I'm sorry, guys. You know what? We'll come back to it. The ads are a little bit ridiculous.
That he hasn't been willing to make before?
I don't call it a breakthrough. I mean, we've been working on this a long time. There are thousands of young people dying, mostly soldiers, but also, missiles being hit into Kiev and other places.
No, I hear you, Beware. I hear you.
I think Russia's lost over 20,000 since the beginning of the year. 20,000. And I guess the estimate for Ukraine is about 9,000. It's a terrible situation. We want to get it stopped. We don't have American soldiers there, but I feel I have an obligation to get it stopped. This was not my war. This war would have never started, not even a chance. And it didn't start for 4 years. It went 4 years and didn't start. But this is Biden's war. This was on his watch. And, it's funny, we had no land was taken from Trump. It was taken from Bush. It was taken from Biden. The whole thing they would take from Biden if it weren't for us. But it was taken by Obama. Take a look at what was taken with all of the land that was taken. Nothing was taken by Russia from us. Not 1 ounce of land was taken. I'm here to get the thing over with. It would have never
an ounce of land. I've never heard anybody say an ounce of land. That's kind of funny. I don't know why that's cracking me up. Am I crazy?
All of the land that was taken, nothing was taken by Russia from us. Not 1 ounce of land was taken. I'm here to get the thing over with. It would have never started if I were president, and we're here to get it stopped and get the death stopped. Yeah, please.
President, in the past, you said you would know if Putin was tackling you along.
Old schoolers say it? Okay, I've just never heard that. I've never heard of an ounce of ground taken or left or what have you.
Confidence that he is or isn't doing that this time around.
Can't answer the question yet. I'll tell you in a matter of weeks, maybe less. But we've made a lot of progress. And as you know, we put a 50% tariff on India on oil. They're the second largest. They're very close to China in terms of the purchase of oil from Russia. But so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But we've had very productive talks today. Yes, ma'am?
President Trump, on federalizing D.C., are you considering taking over the D.C. police? Is that an option on the table?
We're considering it, yeah, because the crime is ridiculous. I could show you a chart comparing D.C. to other locations, and you're not going to want to see what it looks like. It was just up on television.
So there was somebody, I think the story was, there was like a woman being assaulted or something along those lines. Somebody steps in to help her. He gets beaten up. Turns out the person beaten up was the big balls kid or teenager or whatever at this point from the Doge team, if you guys remember that, which I just thought was crazy coincidence.
And actually, they were showing it. Now, we want to have a great, safe capital, and we're going to have it. And that includes cleanliness and it includes other things. We have a capital that's very unsafe. You know, we just almost lost a young man, beautiful, handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him the night before last. And I'm going to call him now. We wanted to give him a little recovery time. We just put a call into him. They're calling back in a little while, but he went through a bad situation, to put it mildly, and there's too much of it. We're gonna do something about it. So whether you call it federalized or what, and that also includes the graffiti that you see, the papers all over the place, the roads that are in bad shape, the medians that are falling down, the median in between roads that's falling down. We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of...
So is he like saying he's going to bring down the hammer on DC, or he's thinking about bringing down the hammer?
Killings and everything else. We're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly, too.
And do you want Congress to look at overturning the DC Home Rule Act?
We're going to look at that. In fact, the lawyers are already studying it. We have to run D.C. This has to be the best-run place in the country, not the worst-run place in the country. And it has so much potential, and we're going to take care of it. You're going to be safe. You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
Mr. President, if you do reach a deal with Ukraine and Russia, would you drop the additional tariffs on India?
Well, we'll determine that later, but right now they're paying a 50% tariff. Okay. Yeah, please.
One for Mr. Cook as well. On the
Yeah,
iPhone,
please.
if I may.
Sure.
The president wants a made in the USA iPhone. What are the chances that you can actually make that happen?
Well, if you look at the bulk of it, we're doing a lot of the semiconductors here. We're doing the glass here. We're doing the Face ID module here. And so there's a ton of it. And we're doing these for products sold elsewhere in the world. And so there's a lot of content in there from the United States.
But what about the whole thing?
We're very proud of it.
Can you make the whole
President.
Just the final assembly that you're focused on. And that will be elsewhere for a while.
He makes many of the components here, and we've been talking about it, and the whole thing is set up at other places, and it's been there for a long time. So in terms of cost and all, but I think we may incentivize him enough that one day he'll be bringing that. But he brings most of the stuff. Look, he's not making this kind of an investment anywhere in the world, not even close. He's coming back. I mean, Apple's coming back to America. Thank you.
Mr. President, Indian officials
Let me
said,
go, please.
Indian officials have said that there are other countries that are buying Russian oil.
It's okay.
Like China, for instance,
It's
buys
okay.
more.
Yeah.
Why are you singling India out for these additional sanctions?
It's only been 8 hours. So let's see what happens over the
More
next.
secondary sanctions
You're going to see a lot more.
So this is a taste of
You're
what's
going to
to
see a
come.
lot more. You're
Mr.
going to see so much
You were the
secondary sanctions. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, you were the driving force behind Operation Warp Speed, these mRNA vaccines that are the gold standard.
Right.
Now,
Interesting.
the health secretary is pulling back all the funding for research. He's saying that the risks outweigh the benefits, which puts him at odds with
Research
the
on
entire
what?
medical community and with you. What is going on?
Research on.
RFK Jr., right?
mRNA vaccines.
Well, we're going to look at that. We're talking about it, and they're doing a very good job. And, you know, that is a pass. Operation Warp Speed was, whether you're Republican or Democrat, considered one of the most incredible things ever done in this country. The efficiency, the way it was
Are
done.
you even allowed to talk about the jab on YouTube at this point? Because I know that one's like heavily censored on YouTube.
Distribution, everything about it has been amazing. But, you know, that was now a long time ago, and we're on to other things. But we are speaking about it. We have meetings about it tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and we'll determine. We're looking for other answers to other problems, to other sicknesses and diseases, and I think we're doing really well. Yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said many times that you want to stop wars in the Middle East. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu is contemplating reoccupying Gaza entirely. Is he defying you, sir, or are you giving him a green light?
Well, we have stopped wars in the Middle East by stopping Iran from having a nuclear weapon, and they're they can say they're going to start all over again, but that's a very dangerous thing for them to do, because we'll be back. As soon as they start, we'll be back. And I think they understand that. They're just words. But no, we've stopped a lot of wars in the Middle East. If you think about what we did with Iran, Iran was the perpetrator of hate, a very evil place, and I think it's going to be a lot different in the coming years.
On the India penalties, do you have any similar plans to enact more tariffs on China as it relates
Could
to
happen.
their purchases?
Could happen. Depends on how we do. Could happen.
President,
Brian, go ahead.
I've got an entertainment-based question for you. A few weeks ago, Stephen Colbert announced that he was leaving his show. Howard Stern announced that him and Sirius XM Radio are parting ways. Do you think the hate Trump business model that's been in the entertainment business is going out of business because it's not popular with the American people?
Well, it hasn't worked.
I think it's more partisan news is the issue. If you could at least, you could have like different sides. You could have people that hate Trump, but you need people that could also have an opposing opinion and then kind of hash it out. I think that's what you need. But if you have a place where it leans one way most of the time or the other way most of the time, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of tiresome.
And it hasn't worked really for a long time. And I would say
regardless of Trump or anything, like whatever the subject, it could be Obama, it could be Trump, it could be Clinton, it could be like whatever.
From the beginning, Colbert has no talent. I mean, I could take anybody here. I could go outside in the beautiful streets and pick up a couple of people that do just as well or better. They get higher ratings.
Colbert is just, it breaks my heart because I feel like he was funny at some point. Like I really enjoyed him like early, like many years ago. But as of recent, yeah, I like stopped watching his show and it just wasn't really funny. It felt like propaganda. And it's a shame because I'm like, damn, I feel like he's got like so much he could do, but for whatever reason, he just stays in this lane and it's just not really funny to me.
Than he did. He's got no talent. Fallon has no talent. Kimmel has no talent. They're next.
Also, all the late night shows kind of seem to be the same in a way, right?
They're going to be going. I hear they're going to be going. I don't know, but I would imagine because they get, Colbert has better ratings than Kimmel or Fallon. You know that. Howard Stern, it's a name I haven't heard. I used to do a show, used to have fun, but I haven't heard that name in a long time. What happened? He got terminated?
Yeah, they're going to separate ways because I think what they're offering salary-wise is real low.
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't listen to like Howard Stern. I've only caught some of his stuff because, I was just younger at the time, but I guess he was more popular. But he seems to have some crazy moments in like, I don't know if it was like the early 2000s or the 90s on his show. Wow. I mean, it just seems to be a next level. If he would have shifted into podcasting, I feel like he would have been like huge, like Joe Rogan or something. But it seems like they had sort of a feud about podcasting. And he's like, no, radio's the way to go. And now, it is what it is.
You know when he went down?
Whenever you want.
You know when he went down? No, before. When he endorsed Hillary Clinton, he lost his audience. People said, give me a break. He went down when he endorsed Hillary Clinton.
Mr. President,
Have you talked to Governor Cuomo? Interviewing Fed candidates yet?
Yeah, we've started the interviewing process. Scott and I and Howard, a lot of people, JD, we have some great candidates. It's probably down to 3. He doesn't want the job. He said, do you like this job better?
Yes, sir.
I mean, he was a candidate, but.
The thing about Joe, though, is Howard, and again, I don't have as much, I didn't watch a lot of his stuff, but it seems like he kind of had a show that he was putting on. Whereas Joe Rogan, he really just interviews people. He just has somebody on and they have a conversation. So there's less like production, it seems like, in Joe's content. It's still great content. I like the fact that he has so many different people on. It's really interesting. But I feel like Howard Stern on that like sort of podcast vibe with the crazy shenanigans of his show would be just like, would have been spectacular from what I had heard. Also, it does seem like he pushed the line, or maybe he went over the line at times. Because I mean, some of this stuff I was like, whoa, there's no way they could do this today.
I don't think he'll take it.
It's sort of, and like also like another thing I feel like they would have a difficulty doing today is Boondocks. Like Boondocks, I think is a fantastic show, and I feel like it would be very difficult to make today.
I really don't think he'd take it, actually.
Are there any candidates from Wall Street, Mr. President?
Yeah, essentially we're all from Wall Street, aren't we? You know, when you get right down to it. The term Wall Street. Yeah, please.
Yep, you made your tax cuts permanent. You mentioned that the tariffs are bringing in a ton of external revenue. You've opened up markets, the EU, Japan, South Korea, many others, to American goods like we've never seen before. How much growth can we expect?
Look, guys, whether you guys are on the right or left, we like to keep a nice balanced chaos here. Left, right, middle, unaligned, what have you. I think we could all come around and say, you know, that the Jeffrey Epstein situation is very weird. We're not getting all the answers. And elites on every side are probably implicated. Very powerful people who are almost above politics are probably implicated in this shit. And that's why we're not hearing anything. That's why we didn't hear anything under Biden. That's why we're pretty much not going to hear anything under Trump, or it seems like that's the route they're trying to take. I think we could all kind of come around and be like, yo, there's something weird going on here.
Now that this model of yours is sort of beginning to really take off?
Well, I think the growth is going to be unprecedented. I think we're going to have growth that's unbelievable. Now, remember, we're building and just starting to build a lot of these incredible plants. We talked about the electric facilities that we're building, the generating plants, electric generating plants. They're massive, and they're going to be great. And they're going to sell excess electricity into our grid. So we're going to be having much more electricity than we ever had, and those plants are going to be taken care of individually. I know Tim is building one in one of his big factories, but especially for AI because it needs so much electricity. So I appreciate the question very much. I think the growth is going to be unprecedented.
Did you have a phone call with Andrew Cuomo? Did you speak to Andrew Cuomo?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Mr. President, have you been briefed on what Ghislaine Maxwell told Todd Blanche?
No, I haven't. Have
you
not.
don't know whether
I
it
don't
came
know.
up in the
I know
conversation
Todd is
or
a
not?
very respected person all over the country, all over the world legally, so I don't know.
And we should be touching on this. It's like the next thing I've lined up. But I guess a sneak peek is I heard Ghislaine Maxwell cleared Trump. I don't know. I haven't dived into this yet. We're going to dive into it a bit after this one. But do y'all trust her? I feel like she's going to say whatever she needs to say to get that pardon, right? To get that reduced sentence. Because why not? Now, if she says something and it comes with evidence, like they could like have proof or something, she could point them in a direction and they could put the pieces together or whatever, then, you know, cool. Still don't know about making a deal with her. I feel like that's kind of, you know, I've heard at least some of the victims have said that she was like worse than Epstein and blah, blah, blah. But right now for her to come out and be like, oh, I've got some things I can tell you is a little like, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Will the new Fed governor be temporary?
We're probably going to go with a temp and then a permanent, I think.
Are the two
So the temp is going to be Nick.
Paul Kleemeyer, you've got my attention, but I need like a source or something. He said hearsay of Iranian missiles coming into the USA.
I'd say over the next 2-3 days, and then we're going to go permanent.
Are the two Kevins the leading contenders for the permanent spot?
Johnny, you said that was nice of Trump to get Maxwell moved to a nicer place. In my mind, what was happening is she's about to get Epsteined. I'm sorry, if she gets Epsteined in the next month or two, we know it's over. Like, we're fucked. I'm sorry. We are just never going to learn anything. The powers are just too strong.
The two Kevins? The two Kevins are absolutely, yeah. They're both very good.
Mr. President.
The two Kevins, very good.
Mr. President, is Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
I saw it reported today, and it's completely fake news.
Real quick, regardless of all that stuff, like, Epstein is dead. Maxwell, it seems, was complicit or implicated in a heavy way. She's in jail. Was told or sold or understood by everybody that this was a ring of elites utilizing his service, or maybe he was blackmailing them. One dude's dead, one is in jail, yet none of the people that they were apparently, you know, giving this service to or getting blackmail on or anything has come to light. We still have yet to watch that. I want to watch that Prince Andrew interview on stream. I watched it again the other day. And I mean, it is just so uncomfortable to watch. It's unsettling.
We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation. And I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful sex
Pointy, what's going on?
of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay? Yeah, please.
A new Gallup poll says that Elon Musk.
But you said Prince Andrew's victim is dead. Is that right? I know one of the victims ended herself. One of the more outspoken victims, but I didn't know that that lady was dead. That's true.
Musk is the most unpopular public figure in the country right now. I'm wondering, do you miss having him around the White House, or is that poll accurate?
I don't know if the poll's accurate. I think.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, please.
A new Gallup poll says that Elon Musk is the most unpopular public figure in the country right now.
What do you guys think? Do you guys like Elon Musk or do you dislike him? The most unpopular figure in the United States right now? Man, that's kind of hard to believe. I feel like a lot of people hate Trump. You know, I can see a lot of people hating Elon, but do people really care about Elon right now? Now that he's kind of stepped out of the Doge position and is kind of doing his own thing on X. You said one ending of one's life and one car accident. Oh wow, we're gonna dive down that. We're gonna watch the Prince Andrew interview. I have to do like a whole deep dive of this Epstein stuff, because even his early conviction, like in the early 2000s, was really weird. The sentencing he got and stuff. So we do need to dive down that. Elon is a power hungry butthole. Look, I think Elon is here to stay in terms of like being one of the powers that be. He has got his hands in so many different industries. He's got a lot of power. He has a president's ear. I feel like he's going to be in politics. He's trying to start his own third party. If he doesn't do that, he's going to be heavily influencing politics with X and just what he could do with his money and just, you know, connections. Crystal Jaws, welcome. His uncle who was Tesla's, right? I don't know. I heard he bought Tesla. I'm not sure about that. But I heard he bought it.
I'm wondering, do you miss having him around the White House, or is that poll accurate?
I don't know if the poll's accurate. I think he's a good person. I think he had a bad moment.
Oh my gosh, slow. How deep are we going, dude? We're going to go down to the Pizzagate. It's going to be, we got to do a rabbit hole stream.
Moment. But he's a good person. I believe that.
President Trump, are you keeping that 10 to 12 day deadline?
China facing potential secondary sanctions for
Yeah.
Lies more than most rugs. That's kind of funny, actually. That kind of got me.
Then having that tariff or sanction rather or not hinges on what going forward?
It may happen. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you yet, but we did it with India. We're doing it probably with a couple of others. One of them could be China. Yes.
Are you keeping that 10 to 12 day deadline that you had given Russia?
What's going on, Nettles?
Yeah, we're pretty much getting close to it right now, but we're having very serious talks right now about getting out of Ukraine, getting it settled, getting it ended. Should have never started, would have never started.
Iranian missiles coming across southern borders. You said Glenn Beck.
Our president
I'll keep an eye out.
Never started. I want to thank Tim Cook. He's a great man, a
A
visionary.
deep dive in Pizzagate. Man, whenever I put, like, there's just certain things I put in the title. Like, I think I even tried to avoid putting Epstein in the title. Because, man, you put something in your title and boom, YouTube just does not show you at all. And they don't tell you what you can and can't put in your title, right? So I feel like Pizzagate and things of that nature are just going to be like, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Just about every quality you can have other than athleticism. I don't know about that. I'm looking at him. I'm not 100%.
All right, Crystal. Yeah, we're going to do it. We'll do a Pizzagate deep dive.
I think he's good at everything, but I want to thank you very much.
But if I do it and you guys don't get a notification, because I'm assuming you're subscribed, it's because they're just not pushing it. Because they don't push it for some reason. It's really weird.
Congratulations. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.
So that was his little, real quick. We obviously, got that from the White House. Always pay respect to where we got everything. Although this is the White House, I feel like it's, but either way, still doing it. So the White House, bam, check out their page on YouTube, subscribe. Basically, this is what I was talking about. Ghislaine Maxwell apparently cleared Trump. This is Voidzilla from CoffeeZilla. You should check out his channel. Does a lot of great content. I don't know why I'm not subscribed. He just ends up in my feed all the time. But yeah, check out his
Ghislaine
stuff.
Maxwell has cleared Donald Trump's name while awaiting her pardon. This is new from ABC. Ghislaine Maxwell told DOJ Trump never did anything concerning around her. Now, notably, Trump has been asked whether he's going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell before he said he wishes her well.
I just wish her well, frankly. Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well.
Then he's asked if he's going to pardon her. He says, well, I'm allowed to do it, but I really haven't thought of it.
I'm allowed to do it, but it's something I have not thought about.
Now, notably, this is very similar to the way Trump has responded previously when talking about people he would later end up pardoning.
I don't want to talk about pardons for Michael Flynn yet. You pardon Paul Manafort? I have not even given it a thought as of this moment.
I mean, because politically, you're not going to come out and say ahead of time you're going to pardon somebody. That just seems like bad politics.
Roger Stone, are you going to pardon him, sir? He's been convicted of felonies.
Am I going to pardon him? Well, I hadn't thought of it.
Now, obviously, he later did pardon Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, and Paul Manafort, and this has all led many people to wonder if a similar thing is in the works for Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, this all comes after 9 hours of Ghislaine Maxwell privately speaking to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. He's the former defense...
Man, I wish we could get some of these conversations out in public, you know, just camera, her talking, saying, hey, these are the people involved.
For Donald Trump.
Well, no, that might be bad because she could say anybody's name at that point.
And this was a private meeting. It's notable that there were talks about doing it publicly in front of Congress, but that got shoved aside pretty quick when they realized they could just do this behind closed doors.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Todd Blanche said he was thinking about releasing the transcripts. We don't know if that's going to happen or not. But today we got leaks of what may have been said during the 9 hours where Ghislaine Maxwell told Todd Blanche that Trump had never done anything in her presence that would have caused concern. Now, do we believe this?
I mean, you're sitting in prison. You're pretty much going to be there the rest of your life. There's no hope for you. You just happen to just be sitting on a piece of information, whether people will take your word for it or not. That is the key to your salvation, to get you out of this cell. Like, the one person you do not want to come out and flame right now is probably the president of the United States. And if you could help him out, that is your best bet to get out of your situation. So it's so hard to believe her. Anything she says is just, oh my gosh, you got to take with a grain of salt.
Well, the challenge is that Ghislaine Maxwell has every reason to lie. She, after all, is looking for a pardon. Her lawyer says right now that she would welcome any relief, and relief is exactly what she got after this testimony. Right after the testimony to the DOJ, where she cleared Trump's name, she got transferred to a less restrictive prison called a minimum security prison, with the Washington Post calling it one of the nation's most lenient lockups for nonviolent women offenders. It's notable she had to get a special waiver to even go to this prison because normally sex offenders are not allowed. And this is something I really wanted to hit home.
I mean, obviously they made a deal with her, but damn, it's just like, damn.
Previously, I've been talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, and we've been talking sort of like, okay, yeah, she trafficked for Jeffrey Epstein. I think it's worth hitting home that she also participated in some of the acts.
Exactly, because people make it seem as though she was, I mean, just trafficking, which is like, oh, she was just, like, what do you mean just trafficking? Like, you're already, like, pretty fucked up right there, right? I mean, you're already at the end of your rope, my good sir. But no, she was also participating in the actions and everything. And even if you say, well, she was a victim and stuff, it's like, come on. I mean, come on. Like, really?
She is a offender, convicted, and those types of people aren't eligible normally for minimum security prisons. That's why a
Exactly, Pointy. That makes it so much better. It's like, what? It's like, I was only, like, listen, I only killed 2 people. I didn't kill 3, okay?
Former warden told the Post, inmates, if they have a offense, are not going to a place like that, period. It's truly unheard of. Quote, it's a country club. Someone gave special preference to
the show is Manson, okay.
That in my knowledge, no other inmate currently serving in the Federal Bureau of Prisons has received. So she is getting special treatment for something. We don't know exactly why she.
We don't know why. We don't know exactly why with the timing of all of this. I'm clueless.
Special waiver for this, though. This is not something that everyone gets. Contradicting this, though, the president has come out and said, oh, this is actually a very normal thing.
Questions for you. One, were you aware of and did you personally approve the prison transfer for Ghislaine Maxwell that your Justice Department?
I didn't know about it at all. No, I read about it just like you did.
And do you believe that she is?
It's not a very uncommon thing.
Exactly, Paul.
That she's credible to be listening to. Your Deputy Attorney General sat down with her recently.
Well, let me tell you, he's a very talented man.
I'll remind you, the guy he's talking about formerly was his defense attorney. And her question, which never really gets answered, which is, can we trust Ghislaine Maxwell, actually is an important one because previously she was charged with perjury. This was in connection with her 2016 deposition. Perjury just means she was lying under oath. Quote, in 2016, while testifying under oath in a civil proceeding, Maxwell repeatedly made false statements, specifically about certain specific acts and events alleged in the indictment. So, can we trust someone who previously our government charged with making
lying,
false
right? It's like,
statements when specifically these false statements may benefit her? I don't know, maybe you think she's turned a leaf and she suddenly is Mrs. Honesty, but it's worth saying she's already reaping the rewards of the testimony she's given so far. Our president proceeds to talk about how talking to Ghislaine Maxwell is going to help with the fact that we don't want people getting caught up in this that would have their lives hurt.
Whatever he asked would be totally appropriate.
which, I mean, I have to say, the issue with just releasing a bunch of names of his associates without there being some sort of connection to maybe some illegal activity is that now everybody's name gets stained with that association, even if it was just they met at a party or met at some sort of gathering or business event or something like that and had like a very short relationship or short, conversation or something like that. Imagine you have a conversation with somebody or maybe a little business deal or something. You don't really think much of it. Life goes on. You're not really friends with them. And then like 5 or 10 years later, the whole world is coming down on you and they're like, you went to an island with this man and did what? And you're like, whoa, I never got in a plane. I never went to an island. I don't know what you're talking about.
And it's not an uncommon thing to do that. And I think he probably wants to make sure that, people that should not be involved or aren't involved are not hurt by something that would be very, very unfortunate, very unfair to a lot of people.
We don't want people getting involved who might be hurt by this, right? That's why we got to...
Okay, it is a crazy defense because it's like, well, we don't want to hurt anybody, but it's like the victims. What are you talking about? There's like perpetrators out there. There are criminals out there. There are victims already. So it almost sounds like you're trying to protect the perpetrators when in reality, you're just not trying to make more victims. But it does sound kind of crazy.
Talk to her behind closed doors. We got to give her preferential treatment, right? Because we don't want anyone who might have been otherwise implicated in this falsely to get implicated, right? We want to make sure their names, whoever they are, whatever mysterious person they are, do not get implicated in this. And obviously that goal of Maxwell clearing certain people is being achieved here with her now clearing Trump's name with a possible pardon on the line. Now, I do have to say, it could be the case that he didn't have anything to do with it. She is being honest here. But unfortunately, the waters are muddied when you have such a transparent conflict of interest in this whole story.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't want anyone, Ghislaine Maxwell or any of the elites that are involved, to be let off the hook. In fact, just today, we had a bombshell report from the New York Times about Jeffrey Epstein's personal...
The problem is, if you have a situation, we have like this criminal, maybe Epstein's the mastermind, maybe he's just a puppet and, there's a mastermind behind him, whatever. But if you're able to implicate enough powerful people, then who can ever bring you to justice? Because nobody is going to let that come to light. It's like if everybody is controlling the information, is also controlling the government, is also controlling like big tech, is also controlling, how do you ever even break that story?
Residence where he had pictures with famous people. More letters came out with people like Woody Allen, and all of these people should be investigated. Unfortunately, we are living in a time where a select few of these people have so much power over the investigators of it. Maybe instead of giving preferential treatment to sex offenders, we should just release the Epstein files and see where that gets us.
So there really isn't much more on that. This was the big balls kid. We kind of already covered that. Oh. Well, actually, we'll do that because we're actually about to run out of this topic. So
Washington, D.C. after a Doge whiz kid was beaten up by carjackers.
The infamous Doge lieutenant, Big Balls, was just jumped in D.C.
Real quick.
Responded previous.
Coffeezilla or Voidzilla. It's his channel. Check him out. Subscribe if you liked his cover. That was like a little 5-minute tidbit, but he does amazing content. I swear he has another channel, right? But definitely check him out.
The 19-year-old former Doge staffer beaten by a violent mob of minors.
Edward Korstein, aka Big Balls, a name he chose as a joke for his LinkedIn account, was left a bloody mess after cops say he fought off a gang of teens attempting to steal his girlfriend's car.
Who's Big Balls?
Big.
Korstein was hailed a boy genius when he dropped out of college to join Elon Musk's Doge squad to cut government costs.
One of our initiatives is to root out fraud and waste.
And today, his old boss is praising his bravery. A gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car, Musk says on social media. Edward ran to defend her and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. Carjacking is an epidemic in D.C.
I don't know why this is being politicized, because it doesn't even sound like people beat him up for like political ideas. It sounds like his girl, it sounds like it's his girl, was being attacked. He stepped in, defended her, got beaten up in the process, like you do, right? And that's it. Like, anybody supporting that just because it's somebody that you don't like is insane, because they were attacking a woman in the first place, according to the story. So what are you talking about? It makes no sense to support something like that. You're insane.
And 51% of the perpetrators are juveniles. And cops say two 15-year-olds beat up Big Balls.
A year ago, my niece was shot.
The beating is sparking an outcry over violence in D.C.
This is a serious crime a mile from the White House. This isn't a joke.
Tamara Jackam's son, Eric, a 21-year-old congressional intern, was caught in the crossfire of a shootout in June and killed. Now the president is warning D.C.'s mayor, Muriel Bowser, to crack down or he will.
And either they're going to straighten their act out in the terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
Obviously, Inside Edition. I'm sure you've seen them. Check them out. And that kind of does it. Well, I want to say it does it for the heavy politics. Everything is kind of politics in a way. But the more overt politics. Unless there's something super crazy that's happened in the last like 8 hours that I've missed. Bear with me here, guys. Oh, roaming gangs of youths. I'm just trying to decide. Maybe I could just ask y'all. Because I had a few things. There's a video on black fatigue. That's a subject I wanted to cover. But that's going to be a whole deep thing. One on trans people. That's going to be a whole thing. Actually, a couple on trans people. Taya Vera is this YouTuber I started watching maybe a month or two ago. And I really enjoy their content. Maybe I'll watch that one. I don't know. Can't decide. We moved from like politics to cultural politics. Well, let's chill with chat. Hold up. Where's chat at? Where you at? Put y'all on the screen here. Boomers are the most successful generation. Your generation are losers. Man, I feel attacked. What the hell? What did our generation ever do? I don't even know who you're talking to, actually. You could be talking to somebody in an older generation, I suppose. Wait, which one? Oh, Lord. No, Crystal says black fatigue. Yeah, that one's gonna be... Where is it? That Crystal Visions. I know you have enjoyed what is it, My Hero Academia, I believe. Oh wait, it's not on the screen. Hold up. Where's my This is the first frame of like the video, but this video comes from IBZ. And actually, yeah, subscribe, very good. But definitely check out their content. I mean, we're gonna see about getting into this one. But this is gonna be an interesting one. I just prefer debate that doesn't include name calling and is back with facts. We try to keep that vibe here. But I mean, there's a handful of troublemakers as well. There's a bit of chaos. I like organized chaos. If people get too unhinged, we'll give them a little timeout. A little timeout. If they're way over the top, we'll time them out for a week. So it looks like, should Ghislaine Maxwell get a pardon? The poll in the chat here. 15% say obviously, yes of course. And 85% say, are you out of your mind? No. And once we get to this point, I feel like the polls basically stay the same. Like even if we get like another 1,000 or 2,000 votes, it'll probably stay about 85-15. Or 15-85, right? Exactly. It happens, Wilbur. It happens. Sometimes it's like you want to roll around in the mud, and sometimes you just want to kind of chill. You know, if you hang out here, you'll learn like the ones that, you know, roll around in the mud more than the ones that just want to chill. You saw the thumbnail. Oh my gosh. Right? Oh, you said I can't run is 39. Oh, I see what you're saying, Pointy. I was so confused about what you were saying. See, Wilbur, I might have to, this is a pinnable message, I think. What's funny, Droid, is if we met outside of politics, we would probably get along if you like sports, rock, and beer. And I feel like that's most of us, honestly. If we were to just meet at like a bar or what have you, a park or like, you know, what have you, it would just be like a normal interaction and we'd get along, but you know. You talk about in the poll, Crystal? Okay, Droid says, Wilbur, try convincing Russians that Ukraine is the good guy and want frustration. You want frustration, go ahead, try that. I think, obviously when it comes to government and countries, you know, people aren't gonna get along, but the people of those countries, for the most part, would probably get along with the people of other countries, even with cultural differences. All right, he got a small timeout, just 86,000 seconds. A nice small timeout. I feel like Khan was hanging out here a while too, but he was kind of repeating the same thing over and over again. Spamming gets old. How much do the languages yeah, how different are they? I was gonna say, how much do they differ, Ukraine and Russia? Exactly. And even politics, I mean, yeah, just probably just avoid politics for the most part, but I feel like you could have conversations about politics and, you know, still be okay with each other. I mean, as long as you're not demonizing the other side, you don't think the other side disagrees with you because they're evil people. Like, of course, if you think the other side is evil, then you can't get along with them. Not to say there's no evil in the world, but I don't think most people are evil. Probably not, right? Probably not. Well, long bong, it happens on both sides. I mean, there's like that stereotypical MAGA Trump supporter that, you know, is way over the line, but there's also the lefties that are way over the line as well. I have close friends that don't agree with me in politics, but we don't let it come between us because we have common ground or more important things. Exactly. It says most Americans can't speak Spanish, same thing. But yeah, no, that's... Most of us, I mean, a lot of my friends and just people have a lot of differing opinions to me. But I kind of seek out people that have weird opinions, or I like people that have opinions that are different than mine, because otherwise it's a circle jerk, you know? Or I'll sit here in an echo chamber and it's kind of, I don't know, that gets kind of boring, you know? Not a lot of room for growth if you're just constantly sucking each other off. Well, yeah, good and evil, you know, subjectivity of it, all that. But I meant it like the most general sense. Like a person that means to be malicious, maybe for the sake of being malicious, maybe for their own gain. See, HW, and that's what I'd like more. See, I've done a lot of work at like coffee shops and stuff, so like around colleges and stuff. So that culture was a little bit more there. Or maybe, I don't know, I'm not gonna say I cultivated it, but I would have a lot of conversations with customers and stuff, and then would have like a lot of friends and whatnot that would meet up there, and we would be outside the shop or inside the shop going, and then people would be hopping in and out. And I like that, and it's like, you don't really have to get mad or, you know, whatever. It never really got, I don't think it ever really got heated or anything. I mean, people could, yeah, you could be a little heated. Like, you could be like excited or like passionate, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're mad, you know? Like, I mean, people can like have expression and then like chill out, and it's like, yeah, we disagree on this, but, you know, we understand each other a little bit better. We could think about it, you know, throughout our day, and we're gonna hang out though and have a good time from here on out. Oh, no. Oh, no, I see. Okay, sorry. So I won't disagree with you, but it was a drastically different time in the 70s because of what had just transpired in the middle to late 60s. That was the change in point when neighbors became stranger. I've been in Puerto Rico twice and planning on going back. Well, you're having a conversation with somebody else. I've been to Puerto Rico though. I've heard it's great. Yeah, you could be passionate, have civil debate, and agree to disagree, then toasty tasty beer. Exactly. Then obviously if you're closer to the people, you know them more. You could almost be more aggressive in some ways. You know what I'm saying? Like if my friend calls me a dumbass or something, you know, we're arguing and he calls me a dumbass, but we're not like arguing, we're like debating some bullshit that at the end of the day, like we're gonna stop talking about and go get some like coffee or something or food. And so they could call me a dumbass and it's not like, you know, the end of the world. It's like, yeah, you're a dumbass too. But obviously, but you guys, yeah, we get it. See, Pointy, now that comes down to, I feel like a matter of interpretation and a matter of perspective. And we could dive into your case in particularly. If you don't want to, that's cool too. But to say most of them want you to die or something, I just don't know. Well, sorry, hold up. You said deserve basic human rights. You said whether I or others deserve. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. This music is driving me insane. I cannot talk over this. What is happening? Okay. I think I can do this. Okay. Whether I or others deserve basic human rights or to even be alive isn't agree or disagree though. And a disturbing amount of MAGA folks are okay with policy that will kill people like me. I'm just curious of the policy. PR is paradise with a little bit of America splashed in. Oh, I need a vacation. I'm taking a vacation next week, but I'm just gonna be here streaming. But I did take a vacation. A week off. Which I guess starts today. I just find it weird that people wear politician merch like it's a band or sports team. Like swap your MAGA hat for a Yankees or Dodgers hat and then we can hang out. Yeah, the signaling is crazy. I feel like it's a double-ended invitation. You're inviting people that agree with you to have that conversation. I've given my friends this advice and people close to me this advice that are a little bit politically minded when they want to go get bumper stickers and put them on their car. I'm like, listen, I don't know if you should put a politically charged message on your car just because people are fucking crazy. And somebody might misinterpret or have a different understanding of that political message. And I've had people do some crazy shit to me in traffic on just a normal day. Okay? So I'm just saying. It's like you're inviting. It's not like you're gonna drive down the street. It's like this person sees your bumper sticker and they agree with you and they're like, I'm happy. It's like maybe, I guess, but you're not really doing much. But you are inviting that negative energy as well. A Four Seasons Total Landscaping shirt. Wait, what's... I don't get that. I mean, obviously everybody... I'm just saying, it's a calculation is all I'm saying. It's like, if you do what you want, I mean, obviously. But it's more of just a calculation to take in mind. Like, you're increasing the likelihood of a certain type of interaction. Maybe by a little, maybe by a lot. Who knows? Oh, sorry, I'm still like meditating on that, like the political merch. I would have diabolical thoughts in the past, guys, like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when drop shipping was just coming out. You know, everything was crazy about the Trump and Clinton and all that stuff, and then Trump and Biden. I was like, man, you could just print a bunch of, or like design a bunch of left-leaning shirts and a bunch of right-leaning shirts and just sell them and make a bunch of money because people like eat the stuff up for some reason. And they want, it's like a team, it is like like you said, a team sports type of a situation. I never did this or anything, but I'm like, bro, that's what people are doing. That's what companies are doing. Lex, I wasn't sure if you were memeing about like knowing math or not, but we need some math people in here. I think we might be short on math people, so if you're not memeing, welcome. If you are memeing, welcome. But either way. Anyway, Long Bong says, I talked to MAGA the other day who said they wanted to pew-pew a child who climbs the border wall. They're sick. I mean, yeah, some of them are probably like that. Ask the questions that matter, but you'll get no answer. They don't know the answer, just hate Trump. What's going on, Hinkall? Yeah, the dehumanizing of immigrants is terrifying lately too. America is built on the back of giants that came with the guarantee they would make it or die. We're hundreds of years past that and pampered beyond their greatest imagination, says Slow. Slow and low. There we go. Slow and low. Slow and low. What the fuck is wrong with me? I devoted my whole life to pure mathematics. One day I quit. The Rudy Giuliani. That's where Giuliani had the press conference after they announced Biden won because he thought he reserved the hotel. I'm confused about that. This math stuff, you just got to break down further. Modernity has ruined us. If we accept something that doesn't match any physical reality of our universe as a solution, I could never trust mathematics again or anything else. Now I hear you saying you're being serious. I'm just gonna need a, this is gonna require a larger breakdown, a larger deep dive, for me at least. Pyro says, I don't really fall on one side or another since I've got my reservations for both. Exactly, right? It seems like a reasonable take. Slow and low. Imagine being scared. A lot of those are crap quality. It saddens me. That's what people are doing, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Your bumper sticker argument comes off quite cowardly. I used to think the guy with all dead baby stickers on his car was insane until I got older and realized significance. Like, no, I see what you're saying. What I'm saying is, I see how you're taking it cowardly. It's not to say you shouldn't do it. It's not to say be afraid of doing it. I'm saying you have to take into account that you are increasing the likelihood of something transpiring from that thing. The likelihood of it happening is not very high, but just like you're increasing the likelihood of getting in a car accident when you get into a car. You are increasing the likelihood of having some sort of negative interaction with people. For example, a lot of people might have gotten rid of their Teslas or something. Why? Because for some reason that became a political symbol and they were getting their shit destroyed. Like now, if you buy a Tesla and you're in a certain area, you are taking on a higher risk of your shit being destroyed for some random reason. That's all I'm saying. Do what you will with that information, but it's just something to consider. Take care, Pyro Chair. Appreciate you bringing it out. Fourth wall, I think, is one. Pointy. But there's a lot of them out there. But that's what I meant by that slow and low. But it's more of just like a, well, if you got crazy bumper stickers on your car, I might support them or not. I'm just saying when that person is like riding your ass or like beeping their horn as soon as the light goes green or just being an asshole to you and you're like, man, why are people being an asshole to me? And it's like, it's silly. They shouldn't be being an asshole to you just over that bumper sticker. They shouldn't be, but they might. So it's just something to consider. I think I also don't like short slogans a lot of the time because it's sort of like saying you're a Democrat or Republican. I hate that you have to take on so much baggage with claiming to be anything. It's like you have to take on or argue all these other points that you're not even making, you don't even support, but they get roped in because it's a part of that group sort of ideology. I don't really like that. The fucking dirty money, Jesus. You should have been here earlier, man, when it was popping. What the hell's wrong with you? Oh my gosh, it was crazy then. Your shenanigans would have been funny. But welcome. Always good to have you. Always coming in with the bangers, I swear. I'm into mathematics, but I suck. It's just something I just don't put time into. But I'm into it in general. Like, I mean, I would love to learn. Okay. Sorry, I get like so caught up. He tried to backtrack on statements when I called him out. Though he reserved the Four Seasons Hotel, but he reserved Four Seasons Hotel. So season total landscaping for a press conference. I just don't know the lore of that. Print on demand. Having a favorite politician is dumb. I mean, having somebody you think aligns with your ideas, I get it. But yeah, if it's like a popularity contest, like you just like this person, no matter what they do, that's silly to me. Why dirty money? Just quit. HW. I hope you had a good day. Hunter 2028. You know, with all the press that he's getting, I've been saying the Democrats need a wild card. That would be a wild card. That would be a wild card. Hey, take care, Wilbur. Nola. Appreciate you for hanging out. TikTok education era has been crazy. Yeah, they'll be doing studies if they aren't already. I think they are, right? Of how short form content is just very destructive. But I feel like it's gonna be, you know, they push a lot of short form content. People eat that up. They get kind of tired of it. They seek out long form content, and eventually the same thing happens, and it's like a cycle. I kind of see that happening. I could be mistaken. What time is it? Trying to think if I have enough time to make it through this next. One of my next videos. Crack would be legal. Hunter 2028. You know what? There's this one video I wanted to watch. Oh, I watched one of his videos yesterday or 2 days ago. Where are they at? There we go. Hey, what's going on? High speed, low drag. I don't know what you mean. I don't know why it does that. Oh, I see what you're saying, HW. Yeah, that can be frustrating. Yeah, weird. What was the first comment that it censored? Well, don't say it, because then you'll probably be censored again. got an engagement the next hour or so I need to get ready for. So we'll leave off with I guess I would think this is more lighthearted than what we were covering before. So Tyler Oliveira, check him out, does awesome content. We watched his I think it was his video on the UK and censorship and everything there the other day. Does all sorts of stuff, travels everywhere, but in this one in particular, I exposed the most corrupt churches in America. So I feel like this is middle of the ground. Everybody could get around this, okay? Churches scamming people for money, it's probably not cool. The prosperity gospel, it's a little crazy. It's a little bit crazy. Some of you guys might feel, differently about that, but I don't know.
That's me confronting the $60 million televangelist Benny Hinn.
Benny Hinn is a false prophet, fake healer, and snake oil salesman.
We're going to get into the scriptures. Can we do that now?
He lives in a $10 million mansion, bought a private jet with donations from the churchgoers, and has made his riches by claiming to perform miracles.
Mercy and grace.
I mean, what?
Healing divine. And by preaching the prosperity gospel. Basically, the idea that the more money you give to God, the more money God gives to you.
Are you facing a financial difficulty right now? There's only one way out of it. Give to the Lord.
I hate this. I hate this so much. Listen, are you down in your luck? Are you on your last dollar? Hear me out. Give me that last dollar and good will come to you. That to me is just kind of nasty. That's kind of sick.
Even that little you have left, give it to God.
The only problem is, your money goes straight to Benny's bank account while your wallet gets a prayer.
He told me that my vision would be 20/20, if not better, a couple hours.
But like 22/20?
Hours later, it's just like, now I can't see the TV.
And Benny's not...
Bro, are you serious? This dude's out here healing people's eyes.
The only one who's made millions preaching the prosperity gospel to desperate people in need of a miracle.
So I have a question for you.
It just sucks because it's, some people, they'll have faith. Maybe they grew up in that faith to begin with and they already believe these things. Some people maybe are just really desperate and looking for anything, right? And this is like their last hope. And then this person's there like, I've got you. Like, that's just very, very frustrating to me. At least if he believed himself, if he believes that he's actually doing something, like he thinks he's got some like magic touch or something, I'd be a little less mad about it if he actually believed it, if he was just like delusional. But if that you're just bullshitting people, get out of here.
I think you've used the Lord's word to profit.
Let's begin our investigation into the world of false prophets at Kenneth Copeland's church.
He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Perhaps these scary...
This clip is like cursed.
Let's begin our investigation into the world of false prophets at Kenneth Copeland.
Oh my gosh, The Secret. Don't get me. Oh my gosh. I had that book when I was like a kid or whatever. And the whole, what is it? I think there's something to positive thinking. And just, but not in the way that the Secret necessarily has it, where you put a vision board up and you just imagine these things and they come to you. I don't think it's like that simple, but I think having a positive attitude and putting like your goals and objectives ahead of you and thinking about them and trying to actively, consciously think about them and work towards them and stuff, I think that has a bigger impact than like the magical sort of woo-woo. Although I am into that stuff, I don't really think. I don't know how much of that plays into it. Dirty, I don't know what you wrote, man. You're one of the only people that have this issue. Not really. I mean, some people complain about it, but you are the one that has the issue the most, so.
He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Perhaps these...
That fucking look. While saying something like that. And I love the rationalization. It's like, God made the plane cheap for me, essentially. So it was like a gift to me. How can I not take God's gift? Oh my gosh. Like, it's beautiful reasoning in a way. If you actually believe it. If you're like, you know what I'm saying? If you believe it.
I have a question for you. Do you think you've...
Plane's so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Perhaps the scariest
I'm done. I'm sorry.
pastor in the world.
I am a rich Jew backed by a richer Jew.
I pulled up myself to see what his church actually believes in.
Not a ton of people here right now. We got an Israel flag, of course. I don't know anymore. Here's the thing about these places. They're all so nice. You feel bad coming in, even asking questions, because they're all so sweet to you. We're in a
All right. You know, it's like, am I the asshole? Am I the ass? If everybody here is happy, but are they happy, or are they putting on a happy face because you're out in public and you're at like a church and you're supposed to be happy?
out, go to church, give some money to God, and hopefully it 10x's like crypto.
What do some people miss?
You probably have a better chance with crypto. You probably, I mean, I'm sorry. Pray and all that stuff, people have their different beliefs. It might work, it might help and all that stuff. You know, I respect all that. But the whole giving the money thing, just, why does God need money? You know what I mean?
Misunderstand about the prosperity gospel.
I think they misunderstand the fact that in order for God to be able to accomplish what he wants to accomplish in the world and through his people and with his people, and to those that don't know him, it takes finances to do that.
So even God, the almighty dollar has conquered him. I mean, come on.
Money makes this world go round.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's like if he's working with the people of the world, then he would have to use the currency of the world or whatever. But I'm just kind of like, so I don't know.
Prosperity is an all-inclusive term. It's not about getting rich quick or anything like that, but having the kind of life that God would have you to live. Abraham in Genesis 13:2 says he was very rich in cattle, silver, and gold, which was what he needed. He had quite a heritage to pass on to others. But whatever it is, we pass that along.
Yes, sir. And how you doing, sir? We're doing a little interview right now.
Okay, this is.
And they come up with the whole gat. They come up. They are like, "What are you doing out here, sir? Is that a camera? What do you think this is?"
You're not allowed to do that. So, I've got the police right here.
Why do you think people from the outside are so critical of the concept of the church having money or using?
Wait, he said
right here.
What now?
Okay.
He's got the police right here. So is he not police? So they just got armed security. Gotcha. That might be good. Hey, there you go.
Private property. You're not allowed to do that. So, I've got the police right here.
Why do you think people from the outside are so critical of the concept of the church having money or using money to sort of propagate or bring more people into the church?
It's been the some of the misuses and the abuses of the past that have not been godly, certainly.
I believe in the prosperity gospel because that's what Jesus preached. Prosperity in health, mind, soul, finances. So the whole Bible, the whole gospel is prosperity.
Can God's will be accomplished without money, do you think?
Well, finances is the fuel. Anything doesn't work in this world unless you have some financial basis to work from. None of this would be here unless there.
See, now you could say that the money is an offering. Now the money is an offering because we work, we use our time and labor. In return, we get money, right? So I guess if you were to just burn it, like you say, it's like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But you're not really burning it. You're giving it to them, who are then doing whatever they please with it. So there's just something here that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me.
There was a financial base.
Oh, I headed inside to see what the fuss was all about. Could this somehow be a misunderstood church with a lead pastor that happens to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars? As I entered the church door,
he's worth hundreds of millions. Like, come on, bro.
The first thing I noticed was Kenneth Copeland's store, selling everything you could think of and the Bible.
That's crazy, guys. Crazy branding. This man is a beast at it. I'm looking up how much he's worth. Oh my gosh. Freaking keyboard. Bro, some sources claim 300 million. Others suggest a higher figure around 750 million. and reports from 2021. One source claims 800 million as of 2023. Holy crap. This dude's, by some estimates, almost a billionaire.
That is fire. That's a God-approved hat.
After purchasing a $38 Copeland hat, it was
Jeez! Sorry.
time to go to church and listen to what they had to say.
Also, how does that work? If you're a church selling a product, is that like a separate entity that you would then be charged taxes on? There's no way you get like no tax on that sale, right? Like, how does that work if you have a gift shop at a church?
And we don't have to do a whole lot of deep dive into scripture to just find that from the Bible, from the Word of God, His will for you is that you prosper. About Abraham in Genesis chapter 12, and starting from Genesis chapter 12 and on, the very first thing that God did to ratify the blessing on Abraham's life was He brought him out and He made him rich. And church, I'm here to announce to you today, He's still bringing us out and He's still making us rich. He's still bringing us out and He's still making us rich. He will deliver you. He will set you on high because you've known His name.
These Funyuns are beating me up, man. So hard to stop.
When you call upon Him, He will answer you. He will be with you in trouble, and He always intends to bring you out. It is because He's trying to get something.
I'm sorry, this always rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is, man. I just get bad vibes. I get bad vibes watching this.
But because He's trying to get something to you. He says, be a giver. Why? Because I'm a giver. So I want you to be a giver. Therefore, you step into the covenant. So this morning, you get an opportunity to exercise on Mother's Day what your mother would say.
What?
Do what you've been told. God bless you. So step into the blessing. Amen. So if you're giving this morning, you can make your checks payable to EMIC. For cash, credit, or debit giving, there's an envelope on the seat back in front of you, which will populate there. Or you can text to give. This is one of our most popular.
One of our most popular options.
Happy Mother's Day.
And if you do it right now, while supplies last, we'll send you 2 for the price of 1. 2 blessings for the price of 1.
When the people are ready, you can wait on the people. Praise God.
As the ushers collected donations, I was happy to learn they also accepted credit card, but was surprised they didn't take crypto. But as the sermon began, I learned that a lot of this church's message was to basically claim blessings from God, and if you had enough faith, your life would be blessed. And if you
I get frustrated at people being manipulated and tricked. It's like, you know, kudos to you for running your strategy and, you know, being a good player in the game and everything, but also shame on you, right? And it annoys me. It just annoys me.
didn't receive a blessing, it was because you didn't have enough faith.
You know, Sister Gloria really
I'd say a fool and their money are parted, but at the same time, it feels like brainwashing.
has taught us so much about what it means to apply the principles of prosperity.
I've only seen the snippet of the South Park. I've seen like 2 of the previews. I need to watch the actual episodes. I wish I could just watch them here with y'all. That'd be so nice.
Prosperity that we find in the Word of God.
And the words prosperity and faith were repeatedly emphasized throughout the sermon, sort of like we were casting a spell upon ourselves.
Brother Copeland has...
See, I said like hypnotized.
That is this.
Brainwash.
Faith begins where the will of God is known. And there may be those of you who have never heard this before. God's will is for you to walk in prosperity.
No, sure. I probably shouldn't destroy the underlying message of like the whole entire faith. I have an issue with this specific type of, business model, essentially.
3 John chapter 1 verse 2 says, Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in every way. Say every way. So prosperity is God's will for you. The issue is sometimes...
Well, due to supply and demand and just like money and everything, HW, that would be impossible, right? But nobody in that crowd seems to be asking themselves that. Plus, a good way to sell it is, what is prosperity, right? You give us money, but prosperity doesn't necessarily mean God's going to give you back money. Prosperity, you could twist to mean a whole bunch of different things. You could a clean soul. You now have a clean soul. As long as you keep giving us money, you have a clean soul. Doesn't mean you're going to be rich. Just you have a clean soul. Like they could literally sell it like that. That's what pisses me off, is it's just like they're selling nothing. And, you know, I give them props because you have to go on that stage and be able to like get people to pull out their wallets and just be like, oh yeah, I think this is going to help me in the future by giving you money now. It doesn't make sense to me. Again, coming together and praying, sure, fine. But the exchange of money is just a weird part of it.
Prosperity, we think money. But that is a limited view of what prosperity is.
Oh my God!
It includes your money.
I just said that.
Prosperity is God's will for you. The issue is that sometimes when we hear prosperity, we think money. But that is a limited view of what prosperity is. It includes your money. But it also includes your marriage. It includes your family. God, it includes our finances. Amen?
My interpretation of this sermon is that God is like a miracle machine where I can
Oh my God, I am losing it.
And if I give him my faith and money, he will give me whatever I desire. Ultimately, God is there to make my life amazing. And after a sprinkle of sermon, this church began plugging harder than most YouTubers.
And in addition, for the people in the room, at the WordWorks bookstore, we have a Mother's Day sale going on. Special items, you see up there, special items are up to 50% off, and everything is up to 20% off. So you can celebrate the mothers in your life with a special gift today. So again, thank you so much.
Again, I really want to know how the finances work out between those things. You said SP new episode, Mr. Mackey joins ICE. Oh my gosh. Okay, geez. Oh, we need to catch up on all that.
We honor you and we are so grateful for you.
As this old man began preaching, it was clear that Kenneth was nowhere to be found and was probably taking a nap in his mansion on the property right next to his private jet. So I drove south to Houston to confront the next biggest prosperity pastor I could think of, Joel Osteen. You may have seen Joel on the news 7 years ago after Hurricane Harvey ravaged the city.
I remember this. He had like a super church. I believe a bunch of places were flooded. And this is like off my memory, guys. So if I remember correctly, right? And basically the church was untouched. And it was like this mega church with all this space. But they closed their doors to the public and wouldn't let people like take refuge there.
Television pastor Joel Osteen is speaking out this morning, answering critics who say he waited too long to open his Houston megachurch to flood victims. The building, once a 16,000-seat arena, is now filling up with volunteers, supplies, and evacuees. But that didn't happen until yesterday.
From what I've seen, he's almost like a motivational speaker who has co-opted God and Jesus as his mascots to make money. I went to go see for myself.
Pastors Joel and Victoria Osteen. This is no longer a humble carpenter preaching the gospel here. This is an industrial corporate entity bringing in almost $100 million a year. What are your thoughts on Joel Osteen being super rich as a pastor?
I don't think it's ethical. I don't believe like super rich people should exist in general. I think especially in the context of religion and you know the communities that they supposedly drive and support.
That was very good.
Having religion be the basis of your own way to get there is extremely, I guess, hypocritical.
Yes, I am, guys. Join the church, please. But first, make a donation. Only if you have made a donation may you join the church. Also, hit our gift shop on the way out.
These self-proclaimed middlemen between God and the people, and they definitely use it to their advantage, unfortunately.
It was time to enter the church and see what their service even looked like.
Oh, he does a meet and greet on the second floor.
Okay. Before we attended service, I went upstairs to explore Joel's massive bookstore to see his latest product line.
Never heard of that, Dirty.
Products lining the shelves here besides the Bible, and with Joel's face plastered around the church like that of Jesus himself.
He's got a lot of books.
And that's a bit much. I mean, that's a bit much. Right?
His latest book.
One has to wonder if Joel uses his church's estimated $90 million annual budget and his mega church as a massive marketing machine to sell as many books as possible. But if the Bible is the true word of God...
Oh, because he could have the books. That could be money that just goes straight to him, right? Like not even under the church. But he could just use the church to push it. I don't know.
Why would one need any of the countless books written by Joel?
There's so many books here, you couldn't even read them all. Looks like they have a metro lift to the church. That's crazy. This is huge.
It's a massive auditorium.
Wow.
16,000 available seats here in the largest church in America after a digital...
I mean, this is at a different scale.
Greeting from Joel.
Yeah, we're so blessed to have you. Always a joy to come into your homes. We just feel blessed and honored.
Sunday service had begun. the hype man himself had entered the building ready.
Unless it's you, of course, but yeah.
Preach.
Lord Farquaad, look at that.
God's been good to all of us. I'm so honored to have you here in person, and I know we have some of our homecoming weekend crowd with us as well too. So, thank you guys for coming in. Blessed to have everybody here. I hope even right now.
Jeez.
God is smiling down on you.
Dirty.
He's got great things in store for each one of us, and we wouldn't be alive unless God had greater victories up in store. So.
And I won't lie, the energy in here was contagious, and it was easy to feel fuzzy inside.
Take a moment to worship the Lord with our tithes and our offerings.
What is this guy doing?
Worship the Lord with our
Like, what is he doing?
tithes and our offerings.
Like, what? Is he like holding back like the spirit or something?
We want to thank you for your generosity and your donations. Together, we're impacting people with hope and the love of Christ all over the world. Proverbs 18 says, when you give, it can open doors. That's what we're believing for you, among other things.
Bro, this is like when a substitute teacher comes in and just plays a video in class.
In 2024, you're going to see God open some doors that you couldn't open on your own. That happens when you're faithful, when you honor God with your life, with your decisions, and of course with your funds as well.
One of those things is not like the others.
You're going to see God open some doors that you couldn't open on your own. That happens when you're faithful, when you honor God with your life, with your decisions, and of course with your funds as well. And that's what
It's like you can hear the bullshit in his voice. You can hear that, like, he's like trying to stifle a laugh because he knows this is some bullshit.
when you honor God with your life, with your decisions, and of course with your funds as well. And
oh my God.
Every week, so get that down in your spirit. God can open doors that no person can shut. In your business, in your finances, in every good area. For your children, for the schools they need to go through.
But did the attendants come here to worship God or to get a motivational speech from Joel and a blessing from God? But of course, no matter how charismatic Joel was or how blessed his hairline is, his church preaches that the more faith and money I give to God, the more blessed my life is. And at the end of the day, financially giving to God, or rather Joel's church, is essential to open doors that are impossible to open on my own. And this sales pitch works. Luckily for me, there was a meet and greet with Joel right after service.
People are donating. Prosperity is to come. What you giveth, you may receiveth in 10 times. That's the hope at the very least. I mean, I guess I have a few basic...
Dude, if it was that easy to 10 extra money, we wouldn't even have crypto. Like, all the crypto bros would be at the church.
questions, but I really want to know...
What is the justification for the belief in that giving to God is required for God to bless you? And of course, has Joel himself profited off of God's word to enrich himself?
In no way, I bet. I bet in no way he's taken any liberties or lives in any luxury.
Come on, Joel. Let us in. Let us in, please. Please, God. Please, please. For just one more. Please, please, please. Please, man.
I have to have them out at a certain time.
Oh.
We do have books that are already signed that
Please,
I can switch
man.
out.
This close.
Now listen.
Oh, yes.
I need a promise.
All right.
You gotta go quickly.
All right.
Can't dilly-dally.
All right.
No dilly-dallying.
When I was 5.
Fair.
Okay.
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 Thank you so much. Thank you.
She's gonna regret this. No.
How you doing? Good. How about you? I'm doing good. Could you sign my book?
I'd be glad to.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm from Austin, Texas. Joel, I have a question for you. Do you think you've used the Lord's word to profit?
Oh, this dude, he's doing, yo, this is, you gotta check him out. You gotta check him out. Hold up. Boom. Tyler Oliveira on the ground doing the journalisms. All right, you need to go subscribe. You need to like if you enjoy this his video.
Like grossly? Do you think you distorted the Lord's word?
All right, hold up.
Like grossly? The Lord's word to profit? Like grossly? Do you think you distorted the Lord's word to make money?
Thank you.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa,
appreciate you coming.
whoa.
Thank you.
Whoa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
asked you not to do that, and the obedience of God, He is a blessing, and you're here, and we asked you not to do it, and you still did that.
Okay, you're right.
In the obedience of God, we actually have to do that. It's like, well, okay, did God bestow upon you, like, you could just, like, make rules on people now and be like, well, God gave me the power to tell you can't do that. It's like, so chill the hell out.
God bless you.
God bless you.
God bless you. All right. I mean, pretty softball question, I thought. God bless. I don't even know what the problem was, I'll be honest. I kind of stumbled the question out. How many books have you sold today?
Good amount.
Clearly, Joel didn't want to give.
I don't know. This is different, guys. I wanted to end off on something not so divisive. Well, I don't know. Somehow this feels less divisive. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
Opportunity to buy his newest book. So I headed to the River Church in Tampa, Florida, that claims to be able to perform miracles and heal things like cancer, AIDS, blindness, deafness, Alzheimer's, and anything else you can think of.
Where is this? Because I got some stuff I need done. Never mind. I'll look it up later.
I see you full of the life of God. I see you full of God's healing power. Oh, I see your bank account even overflowing. Hallelujah. Oh, I see the bank telling.
I almost, want somebody to go out there and basically become one of these guys. Go out there, start preaching to people, collecting money for the prosperity gospel. Build it bigger and bigger and bigger. And until it gets to a reasonable, a decent size. And then just come out and be like, by the way, guys, this was complete bullshit. I was just doing this to make money and prove a point. I think that'd be really interesting.
But real quick, before we investigate our next megachurch in this era of media corruption and bias, it's tough to know what's fake news and what's real news. But luckily, the sponsor of this video, Straight Arrow News, can help you find fact-based reporting from the left, right, and center. Using their media mist tool, you can stay up to date on what the mainstream news outlets don't cover on both the left and the right, like the Pentagon using illegal wiretapping on fired aides on the right, and a man allegedly fired for wearing religious shirts during Pride Month reaching a settlement on the left. As I edited this video, I learned that Trump is pushing for an Iran nuclear deal while Israel warns of a possible attack, and that the State Department is pausing student visas to prepare for social media screening. And if you want to learn more about a given story, their media landscape tool displays the news outlets covering the story and groups them according to their bias. And if you want to find the original coverage from the outlets that reported it, you can click the outlet's icon and it'll take you directly to their coverage. If you want to stay informed, navigate misinformation, and avoid media bias, go to san.com/Tyler Oliveira for free. Thanks, Straight Arrow News. Back to church.
This man claims to be able to perform healing miracles. I have chronic neck, back pain, receding hairline, and erectile dysfunction. Let's see if he can cure me and anyone else who's attending.
Hi there. How are you? Good to meet you. Tyler. Are we in the right spot? The healing school?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you guys registered?
Yeah, we're registered. Yeah.
Okay, so is this your first day?
First time, yeah, first day. Alright.
Alright, so you're gonna hold this right below your chin.
Okay.
You can put the water bottle down.
Yeah.
Okay, right here. Keep your head up and put this.
Sorry, I have bad posture.
This is really dumb, for God's sake. Really wrong people, prosperity gospel tracks. But I get what you mean. Could you get some of them out of it? Expose anyone? Yeah, no, I guess that's more what I meant. Just exposing the idea that you could just get taken by this completely and it could be bullshit. So it's if it could happen to you on this scale, imagine these people doing it at a giant scale.
Okay, ready? One.
Obviously, it's I don't know. It'd be a terrible thing to do. Maybe you could set the money aside and give it back to people or something. I don't know. Or actually do something good. If you did something good with the money, there you go. But either way, obviously don't do that, right?
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why we're here.
Before we hear the healing school's pastor list miracles he's performed, like making a young boy's asshole.
Is that right, HW?
I want to introduce you to
What? I'm sorry.
Over here.
Before we hear the healing school's pastor list miracles he's performed, like making a young boy's asshole regenerate, I want to introduce.
What do you mean regenerate? What are we even talking about? I've misplaced my asshole, but I've never completely lost it. What are we talking about? What are we even talking about right now?
List miracles he's performed, like making a young boy's asshole regenerate. I want to introduce you to a few people whose families were torn apart by the prosperity gospel and the word of faith movement.
I was raised in the Pentecostal faith, more charismatic. My dad's a Pentecostal evangelist. He was come up in the Church of God originally when he first started out, and traveled all around setting up tents and in churches and in auditoriums and things. Around 2020, I left that ministry and came here to this church, and it's been full-time here ever since.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chapman. I was in the Word of Faith theology for over 23 years, and that theology is built up a lot of the
Appreciate that, HW.
healing theology, deliverance theology, and I left that theology about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I was born into it. I, in my whole life, was in like a Pentecostal church. And so I think that naturally segues, eventually into like Word of Faith.
For myself, I remember as a kid, we were going to probably more of a Baptist style church, and then just seeing the Word of Faith or creeping in. I wasn't probably fully immersed in it until Mel and I were married, and I joined her church a little bit about 20 years ago.
God's power is for you. Oh, you don't have to come in here worried, anxious, wondering. The power of God is for you. All the resurrection power, that was made available when God raised Jesus from the dead. Oh, he's got digestion healing power for you. He'll take out shellfish allergies.
What?
Wheat intolerance, gluten intolerance, dairy intolerance, hands and feet, and the Lord heals you today.
Explain what is the prosperity gospel for dummies.
So it is the belief, completely unbiblical.
I don't know if I've done Pentecostal. I've been to a Lutheran church. Non-denominational. Bible studies with, is it Seventh-day Adventists? I think it's called Seventh-day Adventist, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to think of all of the sects here. When I went to the non-denominational church, that's because my friend really wanted me to go. He was like really deep in the church, and like he would spend his whole day and go across state and do like all these just different things for church, and then once a year they'd go to like Africa and do stuff there and blah blah blah. It's very deep into the church. So I don't know what his was. We just went to that one because he really wanted me to go to church, and I said, okay, fine, because he kept bugging me about it. Sopping clam. Oh my gosh, coming in here with the bait.
That as Christians, we are supposed to
Too late in the game, bro. You got to get here earlier.
Every single facet of our lives. Our health is supposed to prosper. We're always supposed to be well. We're always supposed to be healed. We're supposed to be prosperous in the literal sense of finances.
What drove you to leave your father's church?
My
throwing the cane on the floor. What the hell?
That I ended up having was I never really opened the Bible for myself a whole lot. Okay. I was raised to listen to the man of God, and he had all the answers, and I was...
Who's the man of God?
So, in this case, would be my father. My dad preaches sinless perfection, which is an even more extreme version of Pentecostal doctrine, whereas you can't sin ever, or you're at risk of damnation. Some of the major things that they teach that I don't believe anymore is the prosperity gospel, the word of faith doctrine, and these are all doctrines that are prevalent in most, if not all, Pentecostal churches.
Interesting.
An event with the word open and conviction from the word to go, something really isn't right here. So it sent us both quickly down this path of what is actually truth.
Say that with me. Say, God, your power is for me.
Is for me.
The exceeding greatness of his power.
What?
All the resurrection life in Jesus Christ when God raised him from the dead. That power's for
If I'm him and I see somebody laying on the floor like that, I'm like, cha-ching, we making money today.
Because I was scared for my soul. Because now I'm hearing from my dad, I'm going to hell. I'm not under his anointing, his protection. I'm not tithing to him anymore. Or God's covering or protection. I'm right now, according to them, out from underneath God's protection. And this is what happens when preachers put themselves on the level of God. When they call themselves Christ ones, or little gods, or little messiahs. Benny Hinn, Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis. They all use these kinds of terms.
I would just say, like, as fantastical and crazy as this, these stories are, but there are people that that we love so much. And I would say that this
That's
theology
unfortunate.
has wreaked havoc on our lives and in our relationships and our families. The God of the Bible and Christians who adhere to God's word as their standard would never treat people this way.
We're not meant to struggle through life. The Bible says, but God didn't redeem us and save us so we could be oppressed and pushed around and tormented. God called us to walk in victory. And it's important on what you listen to and who you listen to. There's some preachers, some churches you go to, they'll preach, life is difficult, we always go through challenges, try to have a good attitude because help will come eventually. And so it's all about our behavior in society, which I'm not taking away from that. The Bible does talk about loving your neighbor, but that's not the whole gospel.
How much of these misunderstandings, in your opinion, stem from biblical illiteracy?
Massive amounts. We had discussed earlier, a lot of people that are skeptic of the Christian faith can easily say, well, Christians don't even read their Bible. And I'm sure many Christians have even heard that. And speaking as a Christian myself, it is more true than you would think. The difference from true biblical Christianity is the ability to handle the text in context, to rightly divide the word of God and understanding exactly what it's talking about, because these word of faith and NAR belief sets are built completely on lies. And 1 Peter 2:24 makes it very clear that we are healed of sin sickness. That is what we are healed of, that we are absolved of our sin before God because of Christ's work. You know, we haven't received our glorified bodies yet. We await an inheritance upstairs. So these bodies will decay and fall away. So for somebody to make millions upon millions, telling people, well, you don't have enough faith for healing, give me some money, buy my books, but also has a pacemaker, is super, super rich, and people are dying all around him.
For one thing, it takes God out of the equation in a lot of your things. You don't have a relationship with God. It's all about you. How big is your faith? How much have you prayed so you can build up your faith and you can have this power? One of the biggest things about this is it's a literal faith killer. When you are praying, let's say you have a daughter or a son that's going through a horrible deal, and you have this pastor, so-called pastor, saying, you could speak what you want, and it will be done. If you have the faith, it'll be done. And you truly have faith. You truly believe what the pastor's telling you. You truly pray with true faith.
And then,
what happens? How does that put you in your faith? My big downfall.
Exactly. You didn't have enough faith. You were, like you said, lazy.
Spiritual laziness. Like I said earlier, he was my spiritual mentor, and I just kind of listened to his preaching. I heard his preaching several days a week my entire life. And it was a lazy excuse. That got me into 40 years of trouble.
It's family. I love these people, and no matter what, we don't agree on a lot of things biblically, but I love them. They're my family, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Miracles in here. I told you about the guy who had the colon and was using the bathroom in the bag, and then the power of God touched him the next day. The Lord rewrapped
Take care of him, dirty.
He was using the bathroom right now. He healed him. There was another guy who came. His name was Scott. He was homeless. He had been backslidden. He'd had diabetes. He'd had toes amputated. His body was just weak. And he'd heard about healing school. So he pulled himself in his weak state out of his wheelchair into his bike and rode 5 miles to get here. And the Lord helped him, and he made it. So he was out of the wheelchair, and he was biking. Like the Lord strengthened him, because he just said, I need help. It was almost like his body was so messed up that he was just like, Lord, you gotta do something. On his one foot, they'd cut off a couple toes, and then by mistake had severed a tendon. And then on the other foot, they took off a couple toes, and they had to remove the bone that went down the part of the foot.
This adds more and more details here.
He said the power of God came into his foot. He felt his foot start burning. He went back to his seat, and the Lord said, check your foot. Well, when he went to do it, there was a bone. The Lord regrew a bone in his foot. It was a creative miracle.
The people that are oftentimes the easiest to deceive are the ones with the best intentions. These people are so often victimized. They're innocent, they're lovely people, and they go into these churches wanting to find God, wanting to find community, and they're perfect victims for people to say, oh, well, I see that your uncle has cancer. You know how you deal with that. You give a little money into the tithe bucket. That's, before you know it, they don't know any better. Healing theology is probably the most disgusting version of Christianity out there that I see, because you see people dying literally, because you see people stop taking their medications, giving away all their money, giving away their estates, because they're desperate, because they just don't.
And that's why that's so disgusting to me. It really is.
Die from terminal cancer.
My knees hurt, right? Knee, be healed. Be healed in Jesus. I command healing to my knee right now in Jesus' name.
It's like whipping God into shape.
Right. It's like you're gonna...
Right, like you're channeling his power.
jerk him over here and be like, heal that. Who are you? Who do you think you are? I don't believe that God doesn't work miracles. I just don't believe that there are men or women out there that have the ability, like a superhero, to just go on command, touch somebody and heal them. That's God's sovereign will, and we are to ask for that, and he can do it if he so chooses.
And you got to consider, though, too, when they're broken emotionally, these types of churches go after them when they come through the door.
Yeah.
So it's this love bombing.
They're an addict or something, and they're just like desperate for anything to work, and they're gonna give you things to do and give you a lot of false hope, I would say, because there's gonna be these fantastical stories that I had these visions, I have, you know, and they'll begin to, there's a healing presence right now. You have an ailment, come, be always in God's presence. The more you come being in God's presence, then you can be healed.
This guy never testified, but I like to tell his testimony. But he was 13 years old, and he had been born without a butthole. At birth, they had to do surgery to create one for him. But
Okay.
he had muscles to control his bowel movements. So everything worked, but he didn't control it.
Sure.
He's 13 and he's worn a diaper his whole life. Well, they came for healing school, and they went into their one-on-one with Pastor Shannon. Pastor Shannon heard the situation, prayed for him. The next morning when he woke up, he said, for the first time, I was able to control my bowel movement. The Lord put muscles in for him.
I won't make things up.
I promise you.
I mean, I just, you know, I feel like that would have been on the news, or like, I mean, we'll have to look that one up.
Hallelujah. Oh, I see your bank account even overflowing. Hallelujah.
Bro.
You gotta go somewhere else. We're too small of a bank to handle your transaction.
Really?
I see you full of God's healing. We had a young man come to healing school. He had never been a believer. And then he's like, I need to come to church. So he comes to church and he gives his life to the Lord. He receives Jesus Sunday. Comes back the next week, gets water baptized, and then hears about healing school. So then he shows up. He's been born again for like 2 weeks. So one day he's like, oh, I gotta go to the doctor. I gotta go get another blood test. I'm like, listen, cancel that.
What?
Come and be in healing school today. Let the Lord touch you. And he sat down. And then I prayed for him and I cursed him. I cursed this foul disease in the blood. I cursed this thing in Jesus' name. You know, he went back and got a blood test while the session was going on. And there was no more STD.
What?
Hallelujah.
Life in your marriage, life in your body, life in your finances, life in your job, life in your attitude, life in your joy. You will ask whatever you want.
I wonder if it's a placebo effect too.
One more time, why don't you lift those hands and clap?
Yes.
Is that anything positive you're going to attribute to this? What's going on, CC?
Reach out and you can receive by your faith. Reach out and receive by your faith. I'm glad my mom left. She doesn't leave me. She was here for a while. If you saw the woman that I hugged in the break, that was my mom. So. The woman I kissed on the head. I just want to make it clear. I'm married to one woman, and that was my mom. So.
Your mom should be sickened by you. You're a false charlatan. You're a scammer. You're a liar. He's gonna get some.
Yes, Buttermilk. I think you would be successful.
To ambush Benny Hinn at one of his spiritual conferences.
Like you.
What would you ask him?
I would want him to give me a representation of the gospel.
Okay.
A lot of these people, I don't believe, can give a heart-convicting, truly biblical, accurate representation of the gospel.
All right, Daniel. Time to go ask Benny for some answers.
Best of luck, sir.
He's a liar. Oh, security. You guys are going to get killed by his false teachings. And I'm quick. After trying to warn the sick people there of the charlatan claiming to heal their illness after buying a $99...
Dude, that's badass. He is really going way out there. He is going way out there.
We're in Chicago. Windstorm is approaching. It is time for Benny's judgment. So real quick.
I'd be like, go on down the road, you fuck.
Definitely check his content out.
On the ground, independent journalism that is not bought and paid for by corporate interests, along with exclusive DLC content that YouTube won't let me upload, and uncensored early access to all my videos before they go up on YouTube. Go subscribe at patreon.com/Tyler Oliveira for less than $5 a month.
And God's people said, amen. You may be seated.
Benny Hinn is a false prophet.
Holy shit.
Enough is
Hey,
enough.
Joe, I'm peaceful, I'm peaceful. You're a
Yeah,
snake
yeah,
ball,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Damn.
Somebody. Hey, don't touch.
Don't push me.
Help the dear man out. It's all right.
Help the demon out. Wow.
It's all right, brother. Calm down.
While I was getting the George Floyd treatment, fighting for each
Jeez.
my cameraman ran for his life to avoid a similar fate,
So we're going to get into the scriptures. Can we do that now?
only to get captured and beaten.
What the hell?
On camera.
I was hit twice. I was hit twice with a golf cart, assaulted by a person here. Then he tackled me and threw me into the middle of a active road. And after that, they kept beating my head. And then they grabbed my camera and they were trying to delete the footage. Actively.
I just got hogtied, body slammed and tackled. Pasha went running and apparently they clipped him with a golf cart and proceeded to beat his head in and delete the footage. So things are not looking good. We are headed to the hospital right now where he is. Gonna make sure he's alive. Apparently they deleted all the footage from the camera, so it's gone. I've been trespassed. I'm headed to the hospital, making sure Pasha's alive. In an ironic twist of fate, the church themselves beat the shit out of us, from what it sounds like.
Wow.
Beat the shit out of Pasha, so we're gonna check in.
Yikes.
They tampered with video evidence. They deleted the first one. They could not touch
The okay, the second one, because I was like, well, there was some footage, right?
How are you telling me what happened there? What did they do? They ran
He
you
ran
over?
me over with a golf cart twice.
Jeez.
He threw me into the middle of the active roadway in front of a semi-truck. He beat my head with an asshole. Like 4 or 5 people were on top of me.
Yeah.
Beating on my head, ankles, knees. They snagged the camera out. They hit my head with the camera.
Shout out the son of Bishop Dan Willis, off-duty cop Chad Willis, for throwing me around like a ragdoll with his goon squad and giving me the George Floyd chokedown. And shout out this bald security schmuck for trying to murder Pasha with a golf cart. This video is by no means meant to be an attack on faith, but rather a demand for accountability to those who distort the word of the Bible, predate on the biblically illiterate, desperate, naive, and poor to make themselves wealthy. And in the words of Matthew 7:15, beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves.
What they do is scriptural macaroni. So they'll grab a verse here, and a verse here, and throw those all together and be like, see, if we make that soup, that's who I am. So for example, in Genesis 2, it says, we shall make them in the image of God. So the creation of us. Big issue that we have there is that they leave out likeness.
Not exact replica, one for one.
Right.
Not like a clone or anything. We are like God. We have the image of God.
It's so clear if you just read it for yourself, without somebody else twisting it, without somebody just cherry picking one little verse out of its context and holding it against you, and realize that, hey, they've been lying to me the whole time.
God, he is big enough and more than capable of communicating what he wants us to know. Go back and look exactly at what he said.
So yeah, definitely check out Tyler Oliveira. He does just such great coverage on so many different topics. And that's gonna be it for today, or at least for this stream. I gotta go out, got some celebrations to do. It's gonna run until at least 10 or 11 tonight. But I might make it back in time to maybe do like a midnight stream. I might hang out and play some video games and stuff. I'm sure we'll cover more randomness, but thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been fun. And subscribe, like, all the good stuff. I'll see you tonight or tomorrow. And I'll drop my socials here, join the Discord, X, all the good stuff. I already took my pants off. I know, right? It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But gotta go hit the town. Well, what time is it? Yeah, about that time. About time to get ready. Get some food. Go out and do this shit. Take it easy, guys.